I'm kind of sure that this is on. Hello, users. What is Papa-Lapa-Lapa-Doop-Boopin'? Playing some more Path of the Exile today. Rather, Path of Exile. There's no the. The the is part of the fan fiction. That's a shame. I'm gonna make a little bit of a potion here, so give me a sec. I'm taking the LARP to a new level. I'm brewing potions not just in Path of Exile, but I'm brewing potions in the real world, not to be confused with the hit MTV show. But yeah, so today's like overarching topic, I want to talk a lot about the like just like what is happening with right-wing fucking people in this country. Like, what the hell is going on with them? And Mr. Freak, I think you know what is causing me to ponder this in the chat, but like I really like this has been a topic I've been thinking about for a while. Is like, how do people get to the point in their lives where they dedicate their lives to trying to make people kill themselves on the internet? Like, that's like that really just, to me, it's just it's an astounding just mismanagement of human resources. And I'll get more into that when more people are here in the live stream, but it's just crazy stuff. Really crazy stuff, let me just tell you. That was not the greatest delirium, but I had the unique item delirium thing, and I still only got a leather cap. What a shame. Hello, the Bogan Gamer. What is popping? Do I still only have a 3-link? Yeah, I do. I still only have... Jesus Christ. I really need to get, like, actual equipment. Ugh. Once I'm able to start putting together things from the Chaos recipe, also known as the Chouse recipe, then I'll probably start buying stuff on the secondary market. The right wing is nuts everywhere. Yeah, I'm aware of that. And that's what like really is causing such like I think such like a boiling point right now. Is you've got like this kind of like, even though they claim to be anti-globalist, but you do have this like globalization of right-wing propaganda. But again, like everything on the right is projection. Like that's been a phenomenon that's been clearly established at this point. Is they dislike everything that they themselves are. They just don't really realize it. Presumably from a lack of intelligence, but also from some sort of like kind of revenge standpoint, like especially when it comes to like incel culture, because that one's really weird. Incel culture is bizarre. But again, I want to talk more about this when more folks are in the stream. I just started 4 minutes ago, so still got some time yet. So for now, I'm going to talk about my schedule. I really like getting up early. I like streaming early. This is going to be my new thing. Maybe I'll stream in the evenings too. I don't know. I'm kind of like trying to like cover new space here as far as what I'm doing online. So, I don't know. We'll see. The Breitbart dude was hired by our alt-right party to give them info on how to make propaganda. Yeah, no, those are serious things. Those are very serious. Incel culture. Oh my god. S31 cow, you're killing me? You're killing me? That's good though. I appreciate that. Let me drink more of my potion. There may be a third spook stream tonight. Not entirely sure yet. We'll see. Depends how long I stream. I'm thinking about streaming for maybe 2 hours right now. We'll see. Maybe 3. I might go 3. I don't know. It depends. Like, that's the thing with live streams is I kind of want to bill a lot of my streams as like they're just kind of very fluid. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just very fluid stuff. Hello, Cloud. Sup? I'll be back after I make some scrambled eggs. Interesting. Love me some scrambled eggs. Hello, Yo Gesh Tiwari. How's it going, bud? How are you? Do I have an OnlyFan account? Not yet. Though I'm considering making one for feet pics. I've had several people, and that's super low effort, right? I have had several people, many people, tell me that they would be interested in that. So I'm considering it. But, not at the moment. What do I do in this game? I run around, shoot shit. And that's basically it. This is one of those, like, mindless kind of just click around the screen and listen to podcasts or live stream and talk to chatters kind of a thing. Like, this requires, like, maybe 0.1% brain power. Unless you're doing, like, specific areas, like a boss fight or, like, a challenge level or something like that. This game is mostly just kind of, you just kind of do it. You just kind of play the game. And that's it. That's really how it goes. Something about killing baddies for souls to stop the sunset. Yeah, something about yeah, that's Dark Souls. But yeah, something like that. My feet are high quality. Don't worry about that. B67. Are you asking for personal reasons? Should I add you to the list of people to sign a petition to get me to make an OnlyFans account? You want to sign the petition, bud? My head feels dizzy very often lately. I'm also having headaches more often. I'm a bit scared it's something. Well, how's your diet? Have you made any changes to your diet? I find that sometimes when I'm not eating that much, I get very dizzy very often. Or if I'm exerting too much and not eating enough to compensate, that kind of stuff. For those wondering, the music is Mega Man X5 intro stage as X. Hello, Turple. You were rude not to greet me earlier. I would definitely not say that you were rude not to greet me. That's fine. I don't know if I greeted you, so I think we're in the same boat here. So I think we're on similar ground when it comes to this topic. So, yes, that's all I have to say. Could be anxiety. Anxiety is definitely an option, for sure. That's absolutely an option. That's where I would have gone next if Mr. Freak Glitcher didn't already say that. But that's not the world we live in, is it? I got upended? Yes, you will. Alright, B67. I'll keep that in mind. What are your specific suggestions? Because I'm sure, given that you asked me this question, you know more about this stuff than I do. So, guide me. You're from India? That's cool. How's it going over there, bud? Why am I listening to such a mediocre song? Cattern, be nice? A sexy version of the week review? What is the week review? What is that? Bundle of woe? Whoa, bud. Slap on some Matrax? I'll think about it, buddy. I'll think about slapping on some Matrax. The report of the week? I don't know what that is. But I appreciate it nonetheless. John Oliver. I think I've heard that name before. How long did it take me to stop eating meat? 23 and a half years. It took? If you're asking about like a transitionary process, I just cut it out. There was no, maybe I should be a vegetarian, I'm gonna try this and wean process. No, I just decided I'm not gonna eat meat anymore, and then I never did again. Pretty simple. He's a great gentleman. Alright, if you say so. Superior Sanctified Life Flask. I'm a carny! It's kind of hard to not be a carny if you live in a situation where you don't cook for yourself. Cattern? You're kind of just stuck, unfortunately. Dope. I'm trying, but there's still things I like to have. I mean, as long as you're trying to cut things down, it's really all about harm reduction at the end of the day. My favorite meat was hot wings. And that was really what I was on the fence on for a little bit. But then I kind of just put the realization that I don't really like hot wings for the meat. I like it for the sauce. I like it for that. So, I just put hot sauce on all my food, and that kind of satisfies the same urge. I love Carnage. I also love Carnage. There's a fucking thing I forgot to grab here. Now I've got no health. Hot sauce is legit fucking phenomenal. Probably if I were to say like what my favorite food is, I would say like literally anything with hot sauce on it. Shit's just too good. Damage of a... See, that's a good craft. I should definitely... Good thing I got that. Damage of a time, rank 1. Well, I'm a vegetarian, because cheese is in a lot of things. I also like consuming products with whey protein. I don't know, one of my main reasons for being a vegetarian is health concerns. Yes, I think the impact of meat consumption globally and ethically is a terrible thing. But there's less I can do as far as individual behavior on that stuff. However, individual behavior is 100% of what my diet is. I can control what I put in my body. So, once you start reading studies about how meat reduces your lifespan, really, I mean, shit's bad for you. It's really, really bad for you. I don't really enjoy eating anymore. God, I wish. I wish I didn't enjoy eating. Eating disorders, SMH. I love food. Eggs with hot sauce is the most strangest food I've ever seen. Really? Hot sauce on eggs is very, very mainstream. I put hot sauce on pasta. I put hot sauce in salad. I've eaten salad with, instead of dressing, using hot sauce. That's fun. I put hot sauce on mashed potatoes. I don't do gravy. Obviously, that's you know, animal stuff. But I put hot sauce on that. I do it in rice, mac and cheese. I've put hot sauce on bread and eaten that before. Just soak it up and make a nice wet, soggy piece of hot bread. I've done that before. Hot sauce on eggs is like super normie. Hardcore normie stuff. Like my fucking grandparents do that. You know, like that is not controversial. You gotta go do stuff? Alright, iTour. I'm an animal! I've put many things on bread. Bread is such a useful vehicle, Cattern, let me just tell you. I did that on like, it was like a baguette thing. Like one of those really sturdy pieces of bread, you know? I thought it would be cool to kind of just like dip it in hot sauce and kind of just went a little bit overboard from that point, but still very tasty, very yummy, delish, some would say. Please tell us you are trolling. I'm not trolling. I put hot sauce on literally everything. 100% of the food that I consume is hot sauce. Soup. Put hot sauce in soup. I mean, I don't even put water in soup. I just use hot sauce as a base, to be honest. I'm not even joking. Sandwiches. I put hot sauce in sandwiches. What is my goal here, by the way? I'm pretty sure I can just leave. I've put many, many things on bread. Alright, so now that we have a little bit more people here, I've done some investigative journalism. I have had hot sauce and coffee before. I have done some investigative journalism, everybody. And so you remember this morning when I was doing Above It All, maybe if you weren't there, this will be a recap. There were like a bunch of cringers that came in at the very beginning of the live stream, right? And they did the typical, like, lol, tranny thing. And it was like, okay, so obviously there's a scoop going on. There's something brewing, and it's not just one of my potions, let me just tell you. It's not one of my potions. And so I went to go see. Now, apparently someone made a video about me. And this is the part where it gets a little bizarre. So I was thinking, okay, what is this? Like a 5-minute, like, cringe comp thing? What could it possibly be, right? Like, so I try to find this video and I find it. Turns out, what do you think? Like a 5-minute video that these people made about me? that would cause like dozens of cringers to like come spam my channel for like 20 minutes until they get bored? Could it be a 10-minute video? Could it be something like maybe this is some deep research, you know, like they really did some hardcore deep dives and they owned me, they exposed me, right? Maybe 15 minutes. You know, we're thinking at this point it's getting a little excessive, right? Like I'm some nobody online. Like I've got what, 15 viewers right now? Right? Like I'm some nobody. Why would you spend 15 minutes making a... No, the video was 1 hour. The video was 1 hour. And it was like a group of people. I think one of them was using like a voice changer, but I'm not entirely sure. Because it's hard for me to like believe that a real person sounds like that. Either that or their mic was terrible. Right? She is Israeli with nothing but hate towards humanity. Who is Israeli? Who are you talking about? Hello, Salvi raised weirdo. Oh my god, Biden ads. God bless. But yeah, so like these people, right? These people made a 1 hour long video, like watching one of my VODs. And it was like, it was really embarrassing. So what happened was, they made this video, re-watching a VOD of this guy pretending to troll me, right? And it was like, this dude saying like, look at this funny joke I made, guys. This is the part where I made a funny joke. And then like, his friends like didn't laugh at the jokes. Like, it was just really bizarre. I am not Israeli, Joe Lewis. You might have the wrong person. It wasn't a live stream. It was like they were in a Discord call. And it was like, I just skimmed through, right? And I watched like the last like 5 minutes of it on like 2x. And it was like, they were talking about how like I am eating babies and how like God and the Bible are like extremely important and how we need to kill all transgender people to like protect God or something. It was really fucking bizarre. It was so weird. And so like that got me thinking, like I really just like, these people are so fucking like, I know that this is something that I've been saying for a while, is that Trump supporters live in a different universe, right? But the way that people can, like, I guess, like, I'm assuming they haven't read the Bible, right? But people would cite the Bible as their reason for why they spend hours watching a transgender YouTuber's live stream archives, saying, this is the part where I made a funny joke in the chat room, to their friends who are just screaming tranny over and over. It's, like, so weird. And I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I wanted to give y'all a little bit of a primer. Because these, you know, they came back. They might come back again. Who knows, right? We don't know. So that's kind of the situation. It's really fucking bizarre and very pathetic, but also like very funny in like the cringe comp kind of way. Hello, Hassam Mokdadi. Fucking Arabic, white, black, trio C, kebab. What? Can you convert that to English, please? I'm sorry. The magnitude of stupidity is astounding. That's absolutely correct. But the thing is, like, again, it's not just stupidity. It's not just stupidity. There's like again, everything about right-wing thought and ideas are projection and hypocrisy, right? So when people like look at someone they've never talked to before and they say mental illness, this person's mentally ill, they're mentally, like, that's like, there's small dick energy involved there. You know, like there's so much like I'm trying to put together like what would need to happen for me to do an hour-long live stream watching a VOD of someone else's stream that I've already watched with people that I think are my friends, right, and telling them about the funny jokes I made in the chat. Like I can't even begin to figure out how lonely I would need to be as a person to do something like that. Like that's just something that Jesus Christ, right? Like that is lonely. And I feel bad for these people. But what's even more lonely, and this is where I'm going with this, what's even more lonely are the people that like watch this guy's video. Like the video's got like 40 views or something, right? And then, like, it's a premiere. It's not a live stream. It's a premiere. And there's people talking in the chat as if the people can hear them, and they're just, like, talking. And it's like, that's where it really gets lonely. That's where it really, like, you start to see kind of, like, just how sad these people are. Is where you get to, like, the viewers that create these parasocial relationships with the people that make these really cringy and bizarre videos. Right? Like, it's so, like, it's one thing to make a video about someone that has, like, very little attention and just saying, like, hey guys, look, I wrote something funny in their chat room, now watch me talk about it for an hour, right? Like, that's bizarre. But to watch people do that and to actively, like, kind of participate in that, and that's all you have going on, that's the part that really, like, just start, like, I feel so bad for these people. On, like, a human angle. And this is, again, this is just a topic I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that's just, like, the absolute depravity and loneliness. And that's what it boils down to with these Trump people. Like, with the people that cite, like, God told me to kill transgender people. It's like, what? No, you're crazy. Like, you're lonely, you have no friends, and society has provided no paths to recovery for you. And somehow that resulted in you wanting to kill transgender people because somehow you see them as inferior or whatever. I don't know. I just don't know how these people exist. Like, I really don't. I really don't. Like, I've been there. I've been, like, lonely. I've had no friends. Right? Like, I get that whole thing. I understand that completely. But the idea that, like, okay, I have no friends, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch live streams that have 20 viewers and then make hours-long videos about them not debating me because they didn't accept my debate challenge to drop their entire day's schedule to talk to me. Like, that's, like, that's just, it's profoundly stupid. It is profoundly stupid. I'm going to turn my air conditioner on real quick because it's getting a little hot in here. I'm so sorry. It's getting so hot. I'm so sorry. So, I'm so sorry, but let me switch the music. Boom. I'll be right back. Oh. Oh. Is my English broken? No, DevJ, you're good to go, buddy. I'm getting sweaty live on stream. It's happening. You have 2 JD and I want to buy Korean noodles. Haha. I don't know what you're doing, Hassam, but that's pretty embarrassing stuff nonetheless. But this is what I'm talking about, though. It's like the other part is like the radicalization of right-wingers from, yes, like there's like that kind of fascist angle where it's like, yes, I hate all people that are not white. I hate all people that are not men. I hate people that are gay. I hate people that are transgender, right? And that's like their thing. That's their shtick. And that's just like, it's because they wish they were like top rung and they feel like they're losing things in society because they're not by default the winners. Because white people throughout the entirety of human civilization, like in the last like 1,000 years, right? White people have been getting participation trophy after participation trophy after participation trophy just for existing. Like, boomers love to do this participation trophy stupid fucking meme shit. Where it's like, oh, these kids want to get stuff for free. That's all they want. Meanwhile, when they were a kid, right? Like, and they were a white kid, and they were getting that job, they were getting that fucking raise, they were getting that promotion, right? I wonder why that was, right? I wonder why they were able to get into that position where they were they could pick themselves up by their bootstraps, right? But so like there's like the Zoomer fascist kind of thing where it's like they wish they could just squeak by on life doing nothing like their parents did. And they resent all like transgender people, for example, for being able to live and making it harder for them to kind of like get by on free stuff. Because that's really what it is. To be white, and I'm not trying to say like white people don't have to work hard. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like they see this kind of thing where it's like, oh, these people have it rougher than me, and people are now finally like starting to care. Well, that it should stay that way. They should always have it rougher than me. And it's just like, it's so like it's so baffling to me, dude. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. But again, you've got these folks who read the Bible, right? But like, you know, at least they're consecrated. They've got their ideology. They've got like a somewhat reason for it, right? They just want to be on the top rung of society. They figured it out. But then you've got these people that do like the Bible thing. They do the Bible thing, and it's like, God told me to kill transgender people. God told me to kill gay people. And these are like the people that you see doing the mass shootings. These are the people you see like sending bombs to abortion clinics. These are the people that you see really doing like the fucked up bullshit, man. Are the people that like they think they're doing the right thing. Like in their brain is telling them, for whatever reason, their brain is telling them, yes, it is the right thing to go out of your way to kill people you've never met before. That is good. That's what their brain is telling them, because they've read this bunk propaganda garbage, right? And it's just bizarre to me. And that's where you get these groups like Patriot Prayer that go to these fucking like cities like Portland and doing these bizarre caravans, shooting people with pepper guns and paintball guns, and like spraying people with bear mace. And they think that they're doing the right thing. They think that they're defending America from tyrants. That's what they I mean, maybe some of them are just saying that as cover, but there's a contingent of them that actually think that, oh, I'm going to go kill this black person to defend America. I'm going to go assassinate a gay person to defend America, right? Like, these people think that they're doing that. And that's where the radicalization of right-wing stuff gets very, 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 very messy. And then you've also got the example of, like, the Christchurch massacre, which is, like, in my opinion, that is like the moment where the internet, if there is any debate before that, which I think the internet has always been real life, but if there was any debate before that of the internet being real life or not, I feel like after Christchurch, and especially now with a pandemic, the internet is real life. It is a very scary thing, and you need to take it seriously. Because that stuff, like the idea of some dude live streaming himself murdering 50 people, and then the people watching the live stream are like memeing about it in real time, is just like the idea that a group of people could be so depraved. I think that is just, if like, you know, I'm someone who's in favor of privacy protection, right? But if we had like the power of the surveillance state, and we could identify all the people that were in a live stream chat cheering on the Christchurch massacre, right? If you could like get at these people in rooms with like psychiatrists and scientists, right? You would gain a lot of useful information. Like, how do people get to the point where they're watching someone on a live stream kill 50 people saying 8chan memes and then going like, "Bud, you missed one," right? Like, the sheer depth and the void of any conscience rather is just it's crazy. It's nuts. And I think we're bracing for impact. I think that this is only going to get worse and worse and worse. All the blueprints are already out there. That's the thing, is like when something happens one time, the blueprints are out there and it's much more likely to happen a second time. Look at car attacks, for example. You have shit like that in Charlottesville. Now you have people getting hit by cars every fucking other day. Can I explain what boomer and zoomer is? Boomer are people like in their 60s and up. Zoomer are people under the age of 24. Note, I am 24. I'm not under the age of 24. I am a ripe, crisp millennial. I was in a psych ward with psychotics, and one was told by God to set his daughter on fire. Psychosis can be terrifying because they really believe. I'm not... That's the thing, is I'm not fully convinced that this is psychosis as a technical term. Like, I think that there's a huge contingent of people that think that they're doing the right thing because of the media that they consume. Like the people that watch Ben Shapiro's show all day, every day, and then they go shoot up a mosque because Ben Shapiro said that Muslims are going to kill us all. Like, there's a difference between someone, like, I think, reading a book, like the Bible, that can be interpreted in so many different ways, and then kind of having that influence psychosis in a way. That's different than people, like, consuming media that primes them to hate other people. Like, someone that follows Trump and loves Trump is going to hate transgender people because that's what Trump's administration is about. They're going to hate black people because that's what Trump's administration is about. And like that, one of the problems is like, yeah, just have people that, oh, I don't hate black people. I love the blacks. They need to get out of the suburbs, but I love the blacks. Like, how does Trump say that? And how do people actually believe that? How do people hear Trump say, I'm great for the blacks, but get the hell out of the suburbs, and then go like, that guy's on our side? How do people think that? How, like, I don't get it. I'm struggling. It's just, it's crazy, man. That shit is nuts. I'm brewing a potion. Give me a sec. Alright, let me read some chat. They truly believe God is speaking to them. They will carry it out. They terrify. I mean, there is definitely a contingent. Absolutely. Turple says, Andrea, that's Adorno and Horkheimer's whole study. Feel free to forward that to me. Yeah, you have like, how do Christians see Kyle Rittenhouse murder people and then say, I'm gonna raise $1 million for someone that just murdered people? As like, I really, it is fascinating. And this goes into the media thing. Anti-blackness has nothing to do with personal beliefs. It's a mixture, absolutely. It is, hello Josh, by the way. It is definitely systemic, but it's like a mixture. Like, you've got people that do have that innate hatred of the other, and then you've got people that maybe might not have that innate hatred of the other, but consume media that tells them, oh, black people are rioters and looters running through the streets, and they're more violent, and they're like, oh, I don't hate black people, I just, you know, lock my car door when I'm near, like that, like those kind of people that think, oh, I'm just doing the logical thing because of the media that they consume. And when I say media, I mean television, internet, things like YouTube, I mean Twitter, I mean news, I mean books that they read. Like, I mean, obviously these people aren't scholars, right? But like, they probably have read fucking Dave Rubin's book. They've probably read a fucking Rush Limbaugh fucking tome. They've read these things, right? Of course. They've read Ben Shapiro's books. Like, at least they have them on their shelves. I don't know if they actually read them, but, you know, we're talking to like people that immerse themselves in this echo chamber, this bubble that they live in, and they just know nothing about what's on the other side. of that, like, two-way mirror. Because we can all see them for what they are. And this is a two-way mirror in this instance. Like, we can all see them for what they are. They're just absolutely fucking, like demented, despicable pieces of garbage. But when they see in the mirror, they see themselves. And that's why they do things like call people soy boys. Oh, you're so weak. You're a beta male. Because they see themselves. That's why they say, oh, you are causing God to be angry at us. God is making this virus happen because of you, so we must kill the gays. Like, you see all these people that are just like, it's all pure projection and hypocrisy. Two-way mirror, that's a good analogy. I gotta write that one down, man. Spewing some prophetic stuff right now. Like, this is good stuff, man. Ben Shapiro has books? Yeah, I think he does. Pretty sure. I remember that's why he was on the BBC that one time when he got his ass whooped by, what was that, Andrew Neil or whatever? We can literally fight Nazis in a way we cannot Citibank. Yes, I think I agree with you if I understand that correctly. But that's the thing, though. Like, again, like, it's all about media consumption. Like, how many people do you think didn't know anything about Antifa at all? Never heard of it before. And the first and only things that they've ever seen have been, like, Andy No's Twitter feed. And they will talk to all of their friends about how Antifa's burning down cities and rioting and looting. Right? Like, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Like, someone who can go from knowing nothing to thinking they know everything because they're just consuming this bunk garbage all day. And the thing about, like, this era of the coronavirus lockdown is you see a lot more people, like, at home. You see a lot more people only able to communicate online. And a lot of the discourse has been going from, you know, in-person discourse to online discourse. And also vice versa. It's more intertwined than I think it has been in recent history. If just ever. And that's another thing. Hello, more Dante69. Like, again, like, what has to go wrong with a person? Like, what has to break? Like, what kind of, like, accidental click do they need to do on Facebook for them to go down a path where they are in a live stream that has 20 viewers to call the streamer, like, a basement dweller? And they're like, your mom and dad should take away your internet. Like, what has to happen? Like, we have one of these people in the stream right now. And that's, like, that's how prevalent this stuff is. Again, and that's why I've been thinking about it so much, is because I have to interact with these people all the time. It's like, what, like, seriously, and more Dante, feel free to answer the question, I'm sure you won't, but what happened to you that led you down this path? Like, cause that's weird. I would never think of going to streams with 20 viewers by myself and saying things like, your mom and dad should take away your, like, that's just weird. That's something a weird person does. Like, that's something that, like, an antisocial, like, the guy that is at the party and kind of just stands in the corner kind of a thing. You know, like, that's what that is. Like, the guy who's at the party, standing in the corner, they're on their 7th beer that they've mooched off of whoever's party this is, and they're looking at everyone else talk to each other and have fun, and they're thinking, damn, why can't I be among them? Right? Like, that's this kind of guy. The guy that, like, is alone because they're a fucking loser and has, like, very bad personality traits, and instead of working on that, they just decide to hate everyone else. And it's weird. It's so weird. Hey, Razor, you talk a lot about books. What books do I read? I should read more, to be honest. I don't read as much as I should. But I've been trying to fix that over the last couple of months. I like to read things, particularly, I do read some fiction, I like horror books. But I like nonfiction stuff like history. Particularly American history, because that's where I live. Though I do have a few books on my to-read list of other countries, like more in Latin America and Africa and stuff like that. But I'm really into like history of like how we get to where we are today. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about. And this is like, how do you, like when you're like 15 years old and you're on Facebook and you click one wrong thing, and then it's a series of clicks and clicks and clicks and you're on autopilot and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you're in a chat room saying, did you just assume it's gender in the chat room? Like what has to happen for that to occur? And so when I look at the world that we live in, I want to know what the fuck went on that brought about this absolute disaster that I see outside when I go outside. And so that's why I think history, in my case, particularly American history, is very important. Like when you know things like, oh, the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln being assassinated, and the next president, Andrew Johnson, being a complete psychopath. When you look at that and seeing how like Reconstruction was completely sidetracked successfully, and how like things like the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments paved the way for Jim Crow laws. When you see that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, there we go. That's the through line here. Right? Like you see that kind of stuff and it's like that now it makes a lot more sense how we have Donald Trump as president and police organizations shooting and killing black people disproportionately to everyone else because they're evolved from slave patrols. That's why. See, like that. So I'm really into the history stuff. That's my thing. Josh, I'm not sure if Salvi was talking to you. I think they were responding to what I was saying on stream, not directly to you. Mega Chungus. Like, again, what has to happen in this person's life? Like, I don't think anyone is born this way. As far as a nature versus nurture thing, I think genetics, you know, they play a role, but they play a role maybe in people's temperament or how they see things or, you know, that kind of stuff. But they don't play a role in necessarily what we say or that kind of stuff. But, like, so what has to happen for someone? Like, is it like when they were 10 years old, they were on YouTube or something? Because I'm assuming this person's like 15. And then they like clicked on like a video from like fucking Stefan Molyneux, and then like they found fucking like what has to happen for someone to have a YouTube account named Mega Chungus and is just like posting like bizarre transphobic things in a chat room with 20 viewers, right? Like what has to happen for the human brain, again, capable of so much, to just go out there and try to destroy others? I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. It's bizarre. It's so weird. See, this is the other thing, is like more Dante. I asked a very specific question, but they can't respond. Like, why did you come to this live stream? To insult me? If you can give me an answer, I would love to know the answer. I would genuinely love to know. If you want to be honest with me and have a real conversation, that sounds great. That's the thing, Ian James Chapman. Is it like an injury? Bad parenting plays a huge role. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse. His mother drove him across state lines to work with a militia that was training him and providing him with fucking assault weapons. Like, bad parenting is a massive problem. Like, also, like, look at things like the Daughters of Confederacy. A lot of the Confederate monuments that we're tearing down, emphasis on we, that we're tearing down, were erected in the 1920s. In the 1880s to the 1920s. There was a big resurgence of the KKK, right, in that time period. Now, the 1920s, that's 100 years ago, right? Now, think about your parents. Your parents were raised by, like, the kids of the kids who put those statues up. And when you think about that, like the train of bad ideas that goes from generation to generation, that is a huge factor. That is a huge factor. So bad parenting, I think, is a huge factor in a lot of this stuff. Yes, that's true. What happened for the human brain to... See, this person, like, again, they're incapable of actually answering the questions. It's really weird. But these are the same fools that God is disappointed in. They're delusional, irrational, racist piece of shit. I agree. If there is a God, which I don't believe in, but if there is a God, I mean, I don't know. Like, the idea that God would be impressed that you're going around YouTube chat rooms with 20 viewers telling people to kill themselves, I find that hard to believe that God would be impressed with that. I don't know. That just seems like that's a stretch, you know? That's more of a stretch than believing in God, like, at all, as a concept. Like, that's already a stretch. But, okay, God exists. I'll take that for granted, right? God exists, and he wants you to troll 20-viewer YouTube streams? Interesting. God works in mysterious ways, I suppose, right? For those wondering why I just fill up my stashes, it's because I don't like fucking buying and selling things while I'm streaming. It just gets me out of the zone. I don't know. Just does. So I'm gonna buy and sell this. Let me scroll up. Exhibitionist kink? Maybe, but what does fun mean here? I don't know. I really don't. They're all crossbred? You mean inbred? How can you treat someone as a hero? That person owned human beings? I also don't know. They do it for shits and giggles, not really worth any attention. In fact, I think our host here is actually playing into their game by giving them the attention now. Thank you for referring to me as our host, by the way. That's really nice. But Razor, like, that's the thing, is like, I'm trying to identify why it's shits and giggles. Like, I'm trying to identify why telling people to kill themselves, like, provides them glee. Or, like a rush of, like serotonin or something. Like, that's what I'm after here. I already know that, like, they think that they're funny and they're doing it for epic edgy. Like, that's some basic stuff, you know? Like, that's, like, addition in comparison to algebra or something. You know, like, that's weird. Like, that we need to understand. We need to understand what brings these people into thinking, oh, going out and trying to kill transgender people, that's funny. Like, why is that funny to them? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's sexual? Is it sexual? I don't know. Could be sexual. Hello, individual that I cannot read the username of with a Hercule profile picture. I'm so sorry. I'm American. I can't read. Would it really be worth it to know why right-wingers want to kill everyone else? I think figuring that out is definitely worth it, personally. Like, I've been the victim of right-wing violence. I know people that have been the victims of right-wing violence. Of course, like, if you count police massacres as right-wing violence, which I definitely would, especially if the cop themselves is a violent right-wing dullard, right? So, I mean, like, it's self-defense to know why these people are behaving in this way and to attempt to mitigate the spread of that viral disease. I don't think it's silly, Razor. Like, these people are murdering people. I don't think that that's silly. When you have the Christchurch massacre, someone who's just shitposting for shits and giggles, like you said, going out and murdering 50 people, that's not shits and giggles anymore. That's like, we need to seriously understand what the fuck is happening with these people. Like, it really is a huge problem. Like, Donald Trump is assassinating world leaders for shits and giggles because he thinks it'll trigger the libs. Like, this is a serious fucking problem, man. Like, and I'm not trying to, you know, act like I'm coming after you or anything. I just think it's, I don't know. That's what I want to talk about today. That's my thing that I want to talk about today. So, I don't know. It's weird. I just really want to figure it out. And I think it is a combination of loneliness, yearning for like when they see like back in time, the good old days, they're watching shit like Leave It to Beaver, like cartoons and media. They're not looking at like, you know, surveillance cameras because they didn't really exist. They were on the city streets looking at 24-hour footage of how life was. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at this like imagined past, like this mythologized past. And this is something that's also really important, is that these people's notions of history, like Make America Great Again as a slogan, is mythology. It's about as accurate as like believing in fucking like in astrology. Like, oh, I was born under the Venus fly trap of the Saturnus equilibrium, whatever the fuck. It's as bunk as that. Is this mythologized like version of history that doesn't exist? Oh, well, you have to make America great again. What does that mean? When was it great? You ask them, what? Give me a year, give me a time period, what was going on? When was it great? They can't answer these questions. And when they do, they answer with this mythology. Like this vague, well, you know, things were, you know, like you could get a good living wage and, oh, well, a man could support a wife and children and that's great and, you know, like that kind of stuff. And that's all right. So like 2% of people were doing pretty well. Great. That's awesome. Happy for them. What does that have to do with us in the like current time? That mythology something sounded like something that Jordan Peterson would say. What? Murder is also sexual. For cis men, domination often has a sex. Dude, cis men really gotta go. Like, we gotta abolish gender so we can get rid of fucking masculinity. That shit is fucking dangerous. Masculinity is fucking dangerous. Like, the kind of shit that causes people to have violent outbursts where they just, like, throw shit unannounced, right? That shit's fucking crazy. What the hell is going on with masculinity? Hey, Ultralight J. You've turned into a stream where I'm drinking potions. Obsession with machismo and weaponry of your fascism. They have developed a kudos system of cruelty. That sounds about right. Love me some potions. Boom, would you like to forward more information? That potion, well, this potion was peanut butter powder mixed with soy milk, mixed with cold brew coffee, mixed with water, mixed with a certain chemical. Am I on Twitter? Absolutely. Lizard part of the brain. I mean, maybe. Whatever the answer is to what the hell is going on with these people. I know, Boom. I don't think I said. I might have said boom as like an onomatopoeia thing, but I don't know if I said boom as in reference to you. And if I did, then I apologize. I mean, 40% of cops beat the shit out of their spouses. That's the statistic that you may not have known. 40%. And that's self-reporting. So those are the spouses that actually feel that they're able to speak about that in some sort of context. So it's 40% minimum. Bare minimum. So cops being into like domination, roleplay, sex shit, and wanting to kill people for their boners. That sounds fairly accurate, to be honest. I will make more cooking with the bitch. That will happen. I've just been lazy. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. But I'm going through a little bit of a metamorphosis when it comes to content creation over the last couple of weeks. So I've kind of just been putting some stuff on hold, focusing on some other stuff, planning stuff out. I'm just doing a lot of stuff here, and it's totally not as coordinated and concise as it could be. But, you know, what are you going to do? But yes, it will happen at some point. Is this The Wire? It might be The Wire. I'm not sure. Do you intend? I already answered that. Okay. Are you on OnlyFans? No? Feet pics high in demand. I am thinking about making an OnlyFans because I get people asking for feet pics all the time. And other pics. But like feet pics, I don't mind. I feel like no shame or fear or embarrassment or shyness about that. Other stuff, I mean, let's be honest. The probability of that happening is very low. But feet pics, that's totally possible. So if you want to sign the petition for me to make an OnlyFans for feet pics, Mega Chungus, feel free. Someone make that like a change.org thing, because that would be really funny. What the hell happened to the Nusswong stuff? I'm doing some other stuff with them. But really, they've just been getting a lot more other people on. And, I don't know. It's kind of low priority. The thing was, I was doing a lot of shows with them at a time where they had a lack of hosts and guests willing to do stuff. So I was kind of like filling in for that. But they've been getting a lot more of like high-profile guests, like a lot more stuff, and like they've done a lot more like infrastructure week on their own right. And so like they've got more people doing more stuff, and I don't know. I'm on every once in a while, but not every day anymore. The Bongan Gamer. I'm so sorry. It's hard for me. But let me read that message. I'm so happy that in Ostland we are turning to the Labour Party. Slowly we are turning to the left, but the right has near full media control. And it's that media control is what keeps the right in power. Exactly. It's media control. That's my thing. Right? But we have to go deeper than that. Like, we know it's media control. We know that this is why people are going to go into mosques and like try to kill people. We know this is why people are burning down black churches. Is because the media that they're consuming is telling them to do these things. But we need to get at the root cause. We need to go after monopolies, media monopolies, like in Australia, for example, right? You need to go after the media monopolies, but that doesn't deprogram people. And with the internet, with the decentralization of this stuff, like look at QAnon, for example. QAnon is not corporate funded. Like the origins might have been corporate funded. But QAnon is a fully self-sufficient living organism at this point. Like, QAnon is like a 25-year-old kid who has since long moved out of their parents' house and is like off the grid, kind of like on a road trip for like 4 years across the country and no one can get a hold of them. That's what QAnon is. And that's the stuff that's going to be way more prevalent with the more and more access to the internet that people get. And restricting the internet, I'm not sure if that's the answer. We need to find an answer that's not based in censorship, because it creates a cleave. It does prevent the spread of things, but at the same time, it also emboldens those that are true believers. And we need to find a way to de-radicalize and deprogram these people, and in a way that doesn't also fuck around with our rights. Like, if you look at, like, the war on terror shit, like the Patriot Act and stuff, like, that was all ostensibly done to protect us from Muslims. Meanwhile, the United States government was going around killing a bunch of Muslim people who had nothing to do with 9/11, ostensibly, you know, to protect us, and then force us to have all of our shit fucking wiretapped at all times. How does that protect us against Muslim insurgency? It doesn't. And that's why I'm very skeptical of things like censorship and stuff. I am an anarchist after all. Schnibs. You ever interact with tankies or communists of the status variety? I do, and they're really cringe. Most of my interactions with them, for the most part, are like 3 back and forth tweets until they block me. That usually is where it ends. I even forgot the celery. That was dumb. Tomato, bell pepper. I ended up having a tuna fish sandwich instead of scrambled eggs. Sorry for misleading everyone. Cloud, god damn it. You gave us fake fucking news. Forgot the celery. Jesus Christ. The society of the spectacle and the hyper-reality of the media. OMG, no. Please tell me that's not a real thing. What's not a real thing? Because the internet is hyper-reality, it is more potent as an adjunct propaganda vehicle. I agree with that. Absolutely. In Australia, our Prime Minister is friends with QAnon. That's scary. I didn't know that. I'm too high for this. I feel you on that one. By the way, you know, don't give any details in the chat, right? But, is there any, like, you can just give me a yes or no. Is there any word on our good friend? At Salvi Raised Weirdo, is there any word, any communication? Just give me a yes or no answer. No more details required. Yes or no. Looking at Doom Wads, Memento Mori. Play it. Come back to me. Great conversation. I had to pull over the car to comment. Wow, incredible. People are driving past you thinking, why is this person stopped on the side of the road? They would never in their wildest dreams think, oh, they're posting a comment on a YouTube stream that has 20 viewers. that would never come up in their brain. Never at all. And that just goes to show how the internet is real life. Well, hit up that bridge. At Salvi Raised Weirdo. I don't know if you want me to call you by your username or not. No, it's weird, but what are you gonna do? Yes. I can just call you Weirdo. Because that's actually fairly accurate. Fucking weird ass bitch. Pay me to troll. You are going to get wrecked. Okay, so again, this is the thing. This is why this stream is so good. Is we can have these kinds of like philosophical conversations about what causes people to like become depraved morons, right? And then like depraved like losers come into the stream and give us like more like evidence and give us more like. It's like, you know, if you're a scientist on, like, bugs, like a rare species of a bug, like, and they, like, you can't find them for that long, and when you find them, like, they die within a few hours, so it's hard to study them or something, right? But, like, we're just getting an influx. It's like we've, like, turned over a rock, and there's, like, thousands of these bugs that we've been studying, and they're just all scattering around. And that's what my stream is like. It's weird. So let me read this comment. You are going to get wrecked. For real, thanks to all the head bangers on the left leading up to the election. Are you talking about metal concerts? What? Head bangers on the left? Is that, what? Already, the English language is in disarray here. We can't even agree on the English language with this person. You would swear they actually were paid by Trump to do the crazy stuff they have been doing. And then with 3, or is that 4? 3, maybe 4, I don't know, I'm dyslexic, exclamation points. Like, what leads someone? And this is someone that comes into my stream often to post one message and then leaves immediately. Like, what has to go through someone's brain? It's like, oh my god, I just had a good thought. And instead of, Instead of writing a book or calling my friends or telling my family, right, because they all blocked me ages ago, right, and I don't know how to write, instead of doing any of that, I'm going to go into a YouTube stream that has 20 views and post my, like, epic blog post. It's like, it's weird, dude. It's strange. It's strange. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. This stream is lit. Thank you. I agree. They come here because I kind of let them, in a way. I don't know. I like studying them. Like, again, I treat them like I would study an insect. You know? I'm afraid of insects, so if I were to, like, if there was, like, a new species of fish that were to be discovered and I were, like, a biologist or something, like, that's what I treat this like. I just really want to understand what has to go wrong in someone's life for them to behave in that way. And so when they come here and they post a bunch of inane garbage, that helps me figure it out. Like, I get closer and closer more and more. With voice like that, sure, she had a small tranny dick down there? What does that mean? First of all, like, disregard the blatant disrespect to the English language that sentence encapsulated. But, like, what, like, for that thought to enter your brain and for that to come out of your fingertips, so many chances for you to think about it and go, like, wait a second, is what I'm saying even legible? Is this literate at all? Right, so many opportunities for that question to be answered. Right, so you type it out. Presumably you type it really slowly because, let's be honest, you don't have a high WPM. Let's be honest, like, we're just being real here. So presuming it takes you a little bit of time to write it out. And then, like, do you proofread before you press the enter button? Like, how does someone write that and press enter? Like, how does that happen? I really would love to know. And if you could answer my question, like, if you could just tell me what you've done in the last 10 minutes, like, that would literally help me tremendously with my research. If you could just give me the last 10 minutes roundup of your life, honestly, that would change almost everything. Like, I feel like that would be an earth-shattering revelation. But I'm afraid that's probably not going to happen. Or at least in good faith with accurate information. Lemon Lime Lukey? I don't know what you're talking about. Headbangers means crazy people in my country. All you have insults like any communist maggot. Instead of debate, you insult everybody and you grammar shame people too, you nasty rat bag lol. I don't grammar shame people. What I do is I am wondering why people speak in the way that they do. And if what you're saying is you live in a country and English is not your first language, that would explain that. So, I'm good. We're on the same page here. I don't think any less of you because of that. But you'll be surprised the amount of people I get that would get triggered if they heard people speak Spanish in a grocery store, not being able to use a semicolon properly, you know. And maybe that's a little bit too much. Not being able to use a comma properly, you know, like not being able to do basic punctuation. Like there's so many people out there that, again, would get triggered if they heard someone speak Portuguese, thinking it's Spanish, thinking Mexicans are invading their country in the grocery store. And yet they can't speak basic fucking English. And if that's not you, and if you're just a non-native English speaker, that's fine. I won't hold it against you. Don't forget, fuck Columbus and the boat he rode in on. Oh yeah, that is today, isn't it, right? Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, bud. Hell yes. I forgot completely about that. I'm so sorry. Hey, Circle A. But the other thing that people get is like, all you do are insults. That's not true. Like, if you get insulted and you get so triggered by an insult that you forget the preceding or succeeding argument, That sounds like a personal problem. Like, if I'm sending an argument your way, and then I call you a dullard, like, comma, dullard after the argument, and instead of focusing on the argument, you just get triggered by me calling you a dullard, I really, like, it's not a lack of argumentation on my point. It's just, you're easily triggered, and you have no rebuttal, so you go for a red meat because you're an idiot. That's really kind of how that functions. Anyway, my point is valid. The left is finished. Thanks to your own stupidity, Trump is going to win. I will bet you $100. Pay me to troll, bets $100. Let's do it. Trump is going to win. Now let's get this. Is Trump going to win with mail-in ballots? Now, if you say no, then maybe I'll reassess this. I'm willing to take this bet. If you think even with mail-in ballots that Trump will win, I'm willing to take the bet. If you think Trump will win without mail-in ballots, I'd maybe take that bet, but not $100. I'd maybe go 50 because I'm less confident in that. But assuming Trump doesn't try to cheat his way to another term, which is what all of the signals are pointing to, assuming that doesn't happen, I think he has got literally a 0% chance of winning any sort of Democratic or electoral vote. I think that's impossible. And hey, if you want to tell me what his path to victory is, maybe I'd listen. But I don't see a path to victory, and I look at this stuff every day. So if you hope Trump wins, chances are you have a low IQ. Just to be honest. Good every day. Remember, he will win the election and be president again. I guess we're at the point where, like, the NPC script, like, I accidentally, like, did a glitch and chose a dialogue option that this bot was not familiar with, so they're just re-looping. They're just looping the old statements. Error, error, Trump, MAGA will win. Error, Trump, MAGA will win. Error, error, like... Oops, I broke it. Today's polls are even worse for Trump. Like, isn't Biden polling like 15 plus in a lot of these fucking shits? Like, that's not a race. There's no race there. Like, it's done. Trump is done, dude. The left has paved his path to victory. I don't see any supporting evidence for that. I have not spoken to one person who said, I was going to vote for Biden because Trump is bad, but then the left did something, and now I'm going to vote for Trump. All of this stuff is happening in Trump's America. So the whole Biden's America thing doesn't make any sense. Biden has explicitly come out against Antifa. So, what? Trump is president. This is Trump's America. That argument is... absolutely dullard-like. Calling natives Indians because it makes us look like stupid white people. I'm not on that boat. I think that's a little... like, maybe that's like Twitter discourse for like a DM group, like, or a Discord server with 13 people. You know, like, that's not something that has any broad appeal, I don't think. But I mean, I'd be willing to be proved wrong. Pay me to troll, but 2016. What's your next argument? Biden plus 10 in Wisconsin, plus 8 in Michigan. Jeez. God damn. Fuck. Hey, Laura Garcia. That's another thing. It's like, heh, did you know Biden is a terrible person? It's like, dude, we went through the primary. We discovered this shit when Biden announced his fucking candidacy over a year ago, right? A year and a half ago we knew this shit. Just because y'all are late to the party doesn't mean that you've cracked the code and discovered a secret about presidential candidate Joseph Robinette Biden too. Wow. He's on C-SPAN videos sniffing children? Yeah, that's fucking weird, but we knew that fucking years ago. That shit happened decades ago, buddy. Like, come on, man. This is old news. And then again, like, the idea that like leftists like Biden is just so fucking baffling. These people are just so out of it. Like, and that's what's bizarre, is like these people are coming to my stream and they're theoretically listening to these words. And they still, like, it doesn't budge their worldview. They still think Antifa loves Biden. They still think that the radical left controls the Democratic Party. They still think that all black people are violent and rioting and looting through the streets and destroying small businesses, right? Like, not any iota of evidence or contrary beliefs or anything will shake these people's minds. It's that ingrained into their fucking system. And that's why I'm really interested in figuring out how to de-radicalize these fucking morons. Because I don't want one of them killing me. But yeah, thank you for the money, Laura. I don't know if I said that before. I am Cherokee and I agree it makes white people out to be stupid. It does. That is factual. That is factual. It does make white people out to be stupid. But I don't know if it's like I don't know what that... Like, we already know white people are stupid. Like, that's very obvious. One of my favorites are American Indian. That one's so good. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a qualifier here. They're not just Indians. They're American Indians. Jesus Christ. Shit's fucking cringe. Trumpenstein Sheckelberg is the same as Biden. It's a tag team. Very interesting pivot from this fella. Hello, InfoWar? That's why they're extinct. Are we talking about mammoths? Praxis Bay? I like that. When right-wingers discover something they think no one else knows about it. I know, it's so embarrassing, but also, like, really adorable. It's like a dog discovering something, like, can be used as a toy, you know? It's like they get really excited about it for like a couple weeks. And then it's like, you know what, I'm bored. I want a new toy. That's why they're extinct? Native American Indians? What is why they're extinct? And also extinct? What does that mean? They're not extinct? Or are you just a moron who's trying to be edgy? Because you're not doing a good job. So far, not good. Like, got some work to do, buddy? Holy shit, I got fucking bamboozled there. Freak Glitcha Simeon? Okay. Why don't we just destroy the entire government and start over like a New Game Plus playthrough? Now that's a good fucking question. If only, right? If only. If even, like, if we could do a time travel thing and put different people in charge of the founding. Like, give Thomas Paine some more fucking authority during that era. Like, just tweak a few things. We could have a radically different country. or do during the second revolution in the Reconstruction era. If we just gave some of those radical Republicans a little bit more gumption, a little bit more, like, you know, care for the world, maybe they would have done something like convict Andrew Johnson, and we could have had a completely different chart for the rest of this country. You know, there's a lot of things that we could have done. But here we are. So the system works, but people screw everything up. I would love to see what system you're talking about, because it's certainly not any economic system in the United States of America. That is for sure. Do you live in, like, New Zealand or something where things aren't going too shabbily? What system is functioning for you? Because if you do say America, you are lying. It's a liberal trope when an American falls themselves, an Indian group, some dumb white liberal interrupts them and insists. Oh my God, that is true. That is true. BLM and Antifa both funded by the rich. You clowns are not the resistance. Like, that's another conspiracy theory. Like, there are people in my family that have said to me that they think George Soros is funding Antifa. Right? Like, that is such a pernicious and pervasive conspiracy theory. And it is so bizarre. Like, if George Soros was funding Antifa, why is it that Antifa are, like, going to fucking Home Depot and buying, like, basic cardboard and Sharpies to make their signs? Why don't we have, like, very nice signs? Why don't we have giant banners all over the country? Why are people in Antifa, right, like, dressing with, like, a sweater because it's the only black piece of clothing that they have? Right? Like, why aren't we working with battle armor? Why don't we all have gas masks and face shields? If the rich is like, it's just such a stupid... But again, it requires that these people have never spoken to in any way where they can learn new information. Because this person is speaking to an anti-fascist right now. One who's been to several protests. I have been to probably a couple dozen different protests over the last couple years. Right? And I could clear all of this up for you. I can give you a lot of actual, genuine information. But your brain is just not capable of accepting new information. And that's where it gets to, like, the point where it's bizarre. Is like, there's no evidence that rich people are funding protests. There is no evidence of that. The most that rich people have done is, like, donate or spread a bail fund to GoFundMe or something. They're not funding anything. But, like, these people just don't talk to anyone that protests because they think they're all, like, subhuman scumbags that should all be shot and killed immediately or something. They're just crazy. These people are fucking nuts. And again, the biggest problem here is the inability to accept new information as it comes to you. That is just so... It's such a deadly fucking aspect of this. Is that these people just don't... Like, they do the don't believe your lying eyes thing. Like, whatever you're looking at right now is clearly false. The information that you can see with your eyeballs is fake. Here's the real story. And then they actually believe that. And that, it's just stunning. It's stunning. There are no leaders of protests. That does not exist. There is no such thing as the leader of a protest. There is no modern equivalent of Martin Luther King Jr. Those memes don't work. This is a decentralized, radical generation of youth in this country. There is no Martin Luther King Jr. you can just throw all of your propaganda on to get people to hate black people. That's not going to happen this time. We don't have a similar figure in this moment. You need to update your propaganda because it is out of date. Laura with $5. Sister, don't listen to them. Jewish capitalism has to fall? I'm not so sure about that. Thank you for the $5. I would rather capitalism fall. I don't want Jewish capitalism to fall and then like black capitalism to remain, or like trans capitalism to remain, you know, or like Chinese capitalism to remain. Like I would rather just get rid of all capitalism, but that's just me. Thank you for the money though. Look up what happened in the Japanese in the USA, of course. These people don't want to look anything up, though. Look up Allison Hoover McDowell on Facebook. Again, if this person is the leader of a neo-civil rights movement, how come I've never heard of them? Like, these people that you're talking about have no influence, buddy. If they had any influence, I would know who they are. Why would I look up anything suggested by a guy named Pay Me to Troll? Now that is an excellent question. Yes, support trans capitalism by giving me money on Patreon today or Super Chats. I know Laura's not a native English speaker, so give her some leeway. Could have been a mistype of some sorts. Antifa and IWW are the only international movements that gave me hope for this generation. If we have more fascism, it will end the same way as always. Piles of rubble and rotting corpses underneath. Absolutely. We cannot afford that in the era of nuclear warheads. Check out John Trudell as well. Again, if these people that are somehow in your mind funded by the rich are funding BLM and Antifa, how come I've never heard of them? How come I cover all of this stuff in these spaces every single day? I go to protests not as often as I used to because I live in a rural state now, but when I lived in DC, I'd go to protests like fucking multiple times a week, bud. How come I've never heard of these people? If they're so prevalent and they're controlling Antifa, how come I've never heard of them? It really, like, again, think before you speak, dude. How often do you see left-wingers going like, oh yeah, I got radicalized by whoever the fuck you're talking about, and then that person is funded by George Soros? How often have you seen that happen? It's never happened. It's not happened, buddy. It's not happening. I'm hitting all cylinders. Boom. Fascists cling to comfy bosom. That is the meta-narratives they believe, e.g. religion. That's absolutely correct. That's the whole foundation of conservatism. They're afraid of change and they want everything to stay in the way that they are familiar with. That's why people speaking Spanish at a grocery store is so scary, because it just makes them, it reminds them that they're not in charge. That's why seeing someone and like maybe you can't tell what their gender is. Oh no, that's why it's such an affront to them. That's why they get so personally assaulted, because it ruins their ability to LARP as if they're living in like the 1950s. Make America great again? What? Like, these people existed back in the 50s. It's just that you killed them back then. So then, you know, there's going to be a contingent of people that go like, and we need to do it again. Like, you know, Pay Me to Troll, for example, comes in here and says that kind of shit. Right? And then there's the contingent of people that just say, that's not true. And just deny it and will not take on any new information. Like, people get offended if you wear a specific t-shirt at a grocery store. Like, I've seen people get offended because, like, someone had a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on at, like, Walmart. Like, it's cringe, dude. These people are losers. They base their entire cultural identity on something that I wish I were born 30 years sooner. And that's their entire cultural identity. It's like, wow, dude. You're a really deep and profound person. Jesus Christ. And now Pay Me to Troll is backtracking. I never said the thing that I said in the chat 5 minutes ago. You're on crack. I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter. Literally, that's what that is. Whatever you're talking about, I don't care. I'm gonna reset the narrative. Did I go to the inauguration protests? Nah. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't as big into politics in 17 as I was in 18. DeVos funded the anti-mask protests in Michigan. Yes, that's absolutely correct. The actual organizations and the organizers who posted all of the promotion and all of that stuff is directly traceable to the DeVos family. Unlike BLM stuff, where like, yes, a protest and a promotion could be traced to a rich person funding them. That's possible. But that's just going to be one protest on one night. Like those anti-lockdown protests were like a couple weeks and then it's gone because there's no organic support for that shit. Whereas the Black Lives Matter movement and the anti-fascist movement, you have protests every single day for months and months and months and months and months because there's an organic agreement with the ideals of the protesters. And these people just can't get their heads around the idea that most Americans actually think that murdering people is bad. Most Americans actually think that democracy, even if they don't know the full extent of American like lies about democracy, they still think the idea that people, you know, if they lose an election, they should get out of the White House. They agree with that. People think that cops killing black people is a bad thing. People think that people going hungry because they lost their job in a pandemic is a bad thing. And that's the problem with right-wingers, is their ideas are unpopular. And that's why they need to scream so much. They need to cry and whine and bitch and moan and whine and cry all the time. That's why you see them going into live streams to get 20 viewers. That's why they're here. Because they're hopping from every stream to every stream because they have to scream this message at the world because no one will listen to them and no one cares what they have to say, right? And that's really the thing, is they're lonely. They're atomized. They feel like they're pushed aside in society. And the problem is, like, sure, in a way that they are, because they push everyone else away. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's, I hate you, and then, what? You hate me? So much for the tolerant left. What? But you just said you hate me. Why would I like you when you say you hate me, right? It's that flipping everything on its head, right? It's weird. It's strange. But that's what brings these people to these atomized locations where it's like they find a Facebook group with like 30 other people that like their family excommunicated them because they said they wanted to murder gay people and one of the nephews or whatever is gay, right? It's like, oops, I accidentally said out loud that I wanted to kill trans people and forgot my sister's fucking son-in-law is trans. Oops, my bad. And now they excommunicated me. They canceled me on Facebook. So then that leads to these people to like go into these QAnon groups. And it's like old people like that. I just described an old person, right? Like someone maybe in their 50s or 60s. But then you have young people who like maybe their parents just don't talk to them about anything. Maybe they don't have a good relationship with their parents. They're on their computer all day, every day from the age of fucking 10, right? They go on 4chan. That's just what they get led to believe. They think, oh, 4chan, funny, look, I'm going to go on there. Then Trump comes around, turns 4chan from something that's like just irony, shit-posting, trolling to neo-Nazi fucking propaganda den. That generates QAnon. These people are fucking, now they're 20, they're 22, they're gonna go to the National Guard. There was a story where someone in the National Guard that was deployed to DC was posting on 4chan for years. They were like in their 20s, they were like 21. Trump was elected when they were like still a teenager, and they learned to hate black people, and they were posting how they wanted to kill Jewish people at protests. And they got sent, and they had a gun, and they were at the front lines of a protest because this country's fucking system of protecting people is shit. It's garbage. It's terrible. It's not good at all. It's really, really, really fucking bad. And no one has any checks on that stuff. Hello, Fuchsia. Also, hey, Laura, thanks for the $2. Appreciate that. Was listening to a podcast about it. They arrested like 200 people and I think charged many of them with felony rioting. Yeah, I declared it a riot, therefore it's a riot, and now you're a rioter? Imagine non-ironically arguing with people who get their talking points from Fox News and thinking you're any less dumb. I'm not arguing with them, Fuchsia. But, nice edgelord stuff. That's good stuff. But have you thought of this? No, you! Got him. today's live stream is trying to dissect what leads people to becoming crazed right-wing fucking psychopaths. That's the subject today. That's what we're talking about. If that triggers you, you can feel free not to watch the stream. I mean, you clicked on it. It's on the title. It's on the thumbnail. You should probably know what we're talking about if you clicked on the stream. But if that triggers you, feel free to leave. Or you can participate in the discourse. You can give us your thoughts and feelings, because you seem like you're kind of teetering on the edge. You seem like maybe I'm an anti-woke lefty, like that. Maybe that's the kind of like vibe you're giving. And hey, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But let's get to know each other. Let's have a good time. Coming into the chat room, heh, they get all their talking points from Fox News. By the way, I hate fat people. It's like, what? What? Like, wow, that is a profound position, and you're definitely very intelligent. Riots are the language of the unheard, as MLK Jr. once said. They need a lot of things, S31 Cow. They need a lot of things. Many, many things. But on the subject of booty, let's talk about incels. Like, incels are one of the most extreme kind of like groups that do this kind of thing. Or like, they'll hit on like 3 women, get rejected because they're losers, and they got all their pickup lines from like Stefan Molyneux or something. And then they hate women. And then they join these message boards of other people that hate women. And then they all talk to each other. And then people start learning about like, oh, women have less IQs and they're more emotional because of biology. And they find some weird phrenology skull measuring bullshit to make themselves seem like, oh, it's not me that's the problem. It's all women. Like, yeah, maybe it's just, I don't know. Like, maybe if the person that they hit on for the 5th time before they went crazy just felt bad for them and gave them some ass, maybe they'd be in a different position. I don't know. But that should be incumbent upon other people to treat cis men like fucking babies, because that's what they are. They're babies. Incels are fucking babies. They're losers who can't get their way. And it's embarrassing. And we have to hit the root of the problem. Dude, that guy just owned me. Holy shit. Hey, Freds, was with a friend at a BLM protest who was told by other protesters to volunteer to get arrested and that it will get thrown out. It turned me off from coming back. His court case is in a week. First of all, I have experience with this. So, people volunteer to get arrested as a form of protection. Arrests take time and they take space. This is a protest tactic. So, not everyone, like, they're not telling people, hey, you gotta go get arrested. Go up there, buddy. It's your turn. That's not what anyone is saying, at least not by the way you said it. They're saying if people say they've got, they don't need to take care of someone at home in a couple hours. Let's say, they don't have to take medication that the cops might deny them. Let's say that they have a good lawyer. Maybe they have a good connection and they have a good lawyer and they could maybe have easier time getting off. Being arrested and volunteering to be arrested takes up police resources. It takes up time. It takes up space in the protest. And so that's why people would volunteer to go get arrested. You don't have to be arrested. If you don't want to be arrested, stay in the back of everything. Be as far away from cops as you possibly can. But someone's got to be in the front line. Someone's got to be like right in front of the police. Doesn't have to be you, but if you want to be that person, if you're in a position where that's not going to hurt you that much, then take it. That's what that means. Now, usually a lot of people get this stuff figured out beforehand. But a lot of the protests that I've been to were a little bit more organized because they were not during this new spontaneous kind of position that we're in society in 2020. Most of my protest experience was like 2018 to 19. where things, you know, you had a little bit more buffer time. You had more time to figure things out. Nowadays, things are a little bit more spontaneous, so I can see why people would want to organize in that fashion on the ground in the moment. But yeah, that's what that means. Incel stuff does oppress people on the lower end of the economic system. Absolutely, that's true. Especially when you have like the perception of what beauty is in a lot of ways based on wealth. Like, how do your teeth look? Are they crooked? Are they straight? Right? If they're straight, you probably had enough money or had dental insurance or had someone in your family help you out. You probably come from a wealthier family, right? How's your diet? How do you eat? Do you exercise often? Do you sleep enough? That kind of stuff affects the way your body looks. It affects the way you act. It affects your behavior. You know, like, there's all kinds of stuff that oppresses people in that sense. But that's not necessarily, like, that's a problem and we need to figure that out. But, like, you know, I fucking didn't have any romantic relationships for, like, the first 21 years of my life. Did I go out there and want to fucking kill people because of it? No. So, okay. It wasn't really a goal of mine. I did other things. You know, so we have to figure out what turns people from being in that position to being in that position and then wanting to kill other people because of it. That is an important thing. Diet affects your skin for sure. Well, Fritz, I don't, like, is it a tactic? I don't know if it's a tactic. Like, it could have just been people saying something that they heard. Like, you have to understand the spontaneity of that. Like, yeah, you shouldn't automatically assume someone is going to get off. I would hope that that's common knowledge. And is that misleading? Definitely. But, like, chances are you will never see that person again. You will never hear that person's voice again. Right? Like, so I don't know what to say. In response to that. Just be careful. Go with a buddy. Know what you're doing. And don't break from the buddy system. If you don't want to get arrested and your friend does, say, no, I don't agree with that. You're not doing it. And you have to have that kind of stuff going in beforehand. I think protest safety stuff is very important and more people should... I'm not trying to, you know, go in on you or anything. This is information that not that many people have. But more people really should be able to access more consistent and coherent protest safety precautionary information. And maybe I should do that stuff. Maybe I should do like a series on safety at protests and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I should. What do y'all think? I mean, I probably have the experience, the editing skill, and the oratory skill to be able to pull it off. So, but at the same time, I'm sure there's people that have much more of that skill. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it. Let me pick a different song here. Let's see. Cool. I'm the coolest person I know, and I work all the time. This song here is The Legend of Dragoon, Shirley Shrine. Seems like all those killer incels were wealthy. There's a lot of killer incels that are wealthy, but there's a lot of them that aren't. And not all incels that would kill are killers already documented. And again, as soon as, if it's a wealthy incel paving the way, they write the blueprints. right? Those are the people that, you know, maybe 6 months from now, another incel who might not be wealthy, they're going to study from those blueprints. They're going to learn, okay, this is where things went wrong. I got to protect against that. And then they're going to go out, try to do something stupid. They might succeed, partially succeed. And then the next time, people are going to see that story. And they're going to see, okay, this is where this person messed up. Here's what I got to fix. And they're going to try it. That's the thing. Is the more and more this happens, the more documentation there is, the more easily it can occur a next time. And that's why we need to go after to fixing these material conditions that leads to people that being captivated by, or yeah, is it captivated by like incel culture? I've played the first 2 discs of Legend of Dragoon, but the copy I had, the 3rd disc, did not work. And then I bought a new 3rd disc, but by that time, I lost the memory card that I was using. It got corrupted, as a result of, you know, it was just not a good memory card. I used it a bunch, and it just got corrupted at a certain time. The lower prison. And so I lost the save, and I haven't bothered restarting the game. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm sorry that took so long for me to say. Yeah, I really should play it again. Or, like, play the first 2 discs again and then finish the game for the first time. It seemed like a fun game. A lot of grinding, though, which kind of puts me off. I mean, that's the thing, is dark humor can be good. And that's the thing, is like you take all these things that are like, that can be good, and that lures people in, and then you mix it with the bad, and they combine them all into one big cocktail of cringe. Like, if you're drinking bleach mixed with, like, apple juice, the apple juice is good for you, and you might be going into this because it tastes like apple juice, but in actuality, there's some bleach in there, and that's not healthy for you. If that made sense? I'm gonna try to do the Cruel Labyrinth. So I gotta go do this trial that I missed because I'm a dullard. Have I ever read or heard of Kill or Normies? Never heard of that. Don't know what that is. Have I thought about doing some videos regarding the SRA? As a convert who was formerly an edgy libertarian, seeing leftist organizations that were very pro-gun was one of my turning points. I would love... I am also someone who is interested in joining an SRA chapter. The only problem with that is I live in a very rural area. I am trans and a woman, and so I will not risk it, even if it's an ostensibly left-wing organization. Not risking it. Don't want to die, buddy. But that is something I'm interested in, and I could do more videos about that. Alright, Cruel Labyrinth. Alright, 2 use skill points. Let me use both of them. Well, that's the thing, Fritz. Do I trust, like, certain organizations? Sure. But, like, could a global umbrella organization that has certain chapters, like, could that umbrella organization be good and the chapters be bad? Absolutely. I've read a lot of stories of a lot of chapters of a lot of organizations that are in the leftist world have people that would sexually assault people, that would try to hit on people and not take no for an answer, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of very emotionally underdeveloped people with left-wing politics. And as someone that's been through a lot of those experiences, I don't want to go through that again. So I would need to extraordinarily vet an organization before joining it in any official capacity. And because I live in such a rural area, that's not going to happen. Man Mohit Singh, everything you said about incels applies to trans people? Well, that would be true if trans people went to go kill people. That would maybe be true if trans people made their entire mission hating at least 50% of the population. That would be true if trans people have a prerequisite of having romantic or sexual problems, you know, like getting laid or having people take notice in them. But all of those things aren't true. And so, if you change the entirety of all the context, yes, you would be right. But when we go back down to reality on planet Earth and realize that almost everything is actually different, then you just kind of look like a dullard. So, I'd recommend instead of being a transphobic moron, you could maybe be a normal person that doesn't advocate for death or suffering for certain minority groups, because that's just weird. That's what a weird person does. Like, there's a certain amount of mental illness required to dedicate your life to going around and hating on people you've never spoken to, you know nothing about, other than arbitrary identity related, like what they would fill out on a fucking form. That's weird. That's weird. That's signs of antisocial behavior, antisocial, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's just freaky stuff. So I definitely recommend a therapist if that's possible for you. If not, if you want to have a conversation, I'm down. Why are trans so straight phobic? I can tell you there's a combined total of 0 trans people that are afraid of straight people or that don't like straight people. So again, we're on planet Earth here. Just so, like, again, you know what conversation we're trying to have. If you want to believe that trans people hate straight people, that's fine. But that's a delusion. That's something that's backed up by no evidence. There's no data that supports that. But if you want to believe that, feel free. Like, if you believe in God or the Santa Claus thing, if that's your thing and that's the hill you're dying on, more power to you. However, I would recommend making it your life mission to go out there and say trans people are bad. That's just weird. That's weird. Like, you can do better things with your time. Like, you could read a book. Ben Shapiro's got a new book out. I know Dave Rubin's been up to some nice literature stuff, so there's a lot of books out there. I hear Donald Trump might be writing a book after he gets out of the White House. So you got a lot of reading material to catch up on. Maybe you read something like 1984, right? I hear a lot of right-wingers say that they love that. Catch it. Maybe get some exercise done, right? Maybe you go hop on a treadmill for a little bit. You know, maybe go outside for a jog. You know, maybe lift some weights. Maybe work on your diet. Maybe do some research on, you know, protein. How much protein should I have per day? How many carbohydrates should I be eating? You know, like, maybe work on yourself. Maybe. I'm just throwing that out there instead of sitting here in a YouTube stream with 20 viewers. Like, I've got, like, no one cares about my stream, and yet you're here trying to say that trans people are bad? It's just weird, buddy. It's just weird. And I, as a person, I look out for people. I want the human experience to be as positive and as fulfilling and fruitful for every single person. Because the human experience, right, is so wonderful, right? Like, the feelings of happiness, of joy, of purpose are so beautiful. I want everyone on the planet to experience those things. And so that's why I don't go around saying, oh, by the way, transgender people are icky, or oh, by the way, black people are violent, or oh, by the way, gay people are pedophiles. I don't do that because what does that accomplish? It accomplishes nothing. Even if you actually hate these people, keep it to yourself. Work on yourself. It's weird. Everything you just said you should try. Again, the no you thing. Like, yeah, but you. Like, okay, yes, me. Now, do you have anything else you want to say? I know you're obsessed with me. I understand. I'm just such a beautiful figure in your life that you can't help but think about me, right? But if you can respond and we can have a conversation or maybe a discussion, that would be great. Imagine being these idiots. I try to imagine it. I want to know what's wrong with them. Seriously, like, what makes someone a hateful person? I'm onto a few things. Atomization, being lonely, you know, wanting to fit in social groups, right? A lot of that stuff I've got some experience with. So, like, I know some of the stuff, but I really just struggle at the idea of, like, you're, like, alone. You're by yourself. You're not, like, on a Discord server with your friends or something and you're trying to impress friends in a social group. You're by yourself watching a live stream that has 20 viewers and you're saying that trans people are icky. Like, I just, like, what has to go wrong for that to be a turn that you make? For, like, instead of getting off of, like, the exit on the highway, right, where you have peace, love, and happiness and enjoying life, you get off at the exit just before that says, I'm going to, instead of doing those things, go make fun of transgender people on the internet. I don't know, like, it's just, like, that's a weird thing to do. It's just weird. It's strange. I'm listening to this on my phone at work, and my coworker has asked me to ask you, why do you guys use they, them pronouns when they are plural? Well, first of all, and I'm gonna try to be as nice as possible. Your coworker, again, I'm here to help, right? I'm here to help, but your coworker's got a lot to learn. They is not a plural pronoun. They has been used singularly in literature dating back to the 13th century. That's the 1200s. That would be 900-ish years ago. So, the idea that they is something that, oh, this is what trans people do. Yeah, that they use they. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. If you read any pieces of, like let's say a police report, if they're trying to describe a suspect and they don't know the gender of the suspect, what word will they use? Think about it for a second. Right, they're going to use the word they. Right, that's what they're going to use to describe the suspect. So, but wait, I thought there's only one suspect. When you say they, there must be 5 or 6. Is it an organization? No, it's basic English. The idea that you think they is a plural exclusive pronoun leads me to believe that you have been primed by right-wing propaganda. You're listening to someone who's no good. You're listening to someone who you shouldn't be listening to. And I'm glad to clear up any misconceptions. +8 and +11 on national polls for Smokey Joe. God, that's so fucking great. Race trying to preserve something sacred. Big oof. That's definitely interesting. Trans are inherently against any race trying to preserve it. Oh, that's what the guy said! Oh my god, dude, Schnibs, I read your comment first and I was like, yeah, that's something dumb. And then, like, I read up, and no, you're just, that's what the fucking guy said! What? Protecting something sacred? Dude, I'm sitting in my bedroom playing video games on YouTube. I'm not coming after your fucking meme rock. I'm not coming after your holy water. I'm not coming after your fucking Jesus pearls. I don't give a shit, dude. I'm coming after things dude, what are you on? Like, are you tripping on fucking shrooms or something? And you had like a bad batch? Like, what is happening right now, dude? Like, you need medical attention and you need it quickly. And I hope you get the help that you need. Jesus Christ. I use they, them because it's neither masculine nor feminine and I'm comfortable with that. Exactly. Aster Quasi. There you go. Hey, Raymond. I love your voice. Also, I love your views. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Still talking? Lol. Streamers talk, idiot. That about sums it up. Hello, Gary Adams. You are brainwashed. You are now medicated for life. Enjoy the corporate trip. Like, Jerry, or Gary, whatever your name is, bear with me here. And I know you probably already left, right? But, like, what made you write that? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out today. What causes someone to go into a YouTuber's chat room and wish them death? Or wish them suffering? And you don't know who I am. You don't know anything about me. We have never spoken before. I have never heard of you as a person until you wrote that message. The first thing that you have ever said to me was wishing me suffering and depression and death. That's just weird. And I hope to God you don't have kids. I really do. Jesus Christ, I hope. Because if you're teaching that shit to a new generation of people, wow, that's a shame. Why do I make assumptions based on because? Why is that what you focus on? The idea that they is a plural pronoun, like, you have to get that from somewhere. You don't just come up with that. That has to be, like, where do you get that from? Was it learned in high school? Did you hear someone say it on TV? Did a family member or a friend you talk to say that? You got to get it from somewhere. And the idea that trans people use they, them pronouns, and, like, that's just a thing that all trans... Why do they assume that I would have the answer? Why do they assume I use they, them pronouns? Anyone can play the you assumed, we can all play that game. But I think that's a little distracting, don't you think? In other words, come on, man. Where? Right. I was about to say, like, why is there a situation like that? Cool. Great background music for the rant. Yeah, thank you. No giving a fuck is the key to understanding life. I disagree. I think if you are a positive person, one of the goals of that should be... Why are you a positive person? I'm not asking you. This is part of my thing. Why are you a positive person? Because you want people to be positive. That's one of the main things. Why would you project happiness and positivity to other people if you don't want them to feel the same? And when they feel the same and when they project positivity at us, it makes us feel good. We're a social species. We should want everyone in our packs to feel as happy and satisfied at all times. Instead of worrying about welfare queens and all that stupid shit, instead of worrying about that, we should be like, oh, neighbor, what's up? Like, you lost your job because, like, your wife got sick and you had to stay home? That sucks. Do you need any help? I mean, my job's going pretty well. Do you need anything? That's the kind of society we should have. What causes you to talk shit on the internet publicly? Nobody wished anything on you except yourself, crazy person. What? Jerry Adams, again, I have done nothing to you. I have said nothing about you. I don't even know who you are. And yet here you are saying a bunch of things I don't know anything about, telling me I'm crazy. You said, like, let me scroll up and read your first message again, verbatim. You are brainwashed. I take that as an insult. You are now medicated for life. Enjoy the corporate trip. I enjoy that as, I take that as an insult. You're saying that I'm going to be suffering at the helm of a corporation for the rest of my life. Your implication there is that corporations are bad, which I agree with, by the way, and that I am a slave to them, and as a result, I will be depressed and like on their like will, whatever. Like that's what you're doing. You are insulting me. Now, whether or not you want to go full beta male and pretend like you're not insulting me, that's neither here nor there. You can apologize and say, "Hey, I didn't mean it to be interpreted that way. And I'm sorry." Right? That's fine. But instead, you just call me a crazy person and imply that I've hurt you even though I don't even know who you are. If you've been hurt by something that I've said, let me know what I've said. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'll apologize. Maybe you can convince me that I was wrong. Right? Let's have a conversation instead of just calling each other mean names. Oh, fuck you. Fuck. Oh my god. No health left either on that guy. Bollocks, dude. That's bollocks? Well, first of all, dude is not a pronoun. There is no pronoun dude. You can speak without using pronouns. That's totally possible. That's totally possible. What about helping people whose children turn trans? First of all, nobody turns trans. That does not happen. That is make-believe. There is no such thing as turning trans. There are people that are born and they are trans. That's what you are thinking of. Nobody goes from cis to trans. That's not a thing. Okay? It's people are trans. They realize that they are trans, and then they come out as trans, and then they transition. No one is being turned trans. That is a conspiracy theory that is being promoted to make people like you dislike people like me, even though I know nothing about you and we've never met, and you know nothing about me and we've never met. But you are pre-programmed by wherever you got that notion. You are pre-programmed to dislike me. You are pre-programmed to want to hurt me. And you should think about that. That's something that I find a little weird and distressing, to be completely honest with you. The idea that you would come into my chat room insulting me, wishing ill upon me, and we've never met before, that's extremely problematic. And to be honest, it's offensive. Now, am I personally insulted? Do I feel like, are you ruining my mood? Not really, because I'm used to speaking to people like you. Right? It's like I'm on the internet all the time, right? Like, this is not new stuff for me. But I would love for you to just think about that. Why do you hate me when you know nothing about me? Think about that. Life is hard. You can't let it push you down. That is why I truly believe you must let go. Let go of what? You are batshit crazy. You need a petting farm. Get off the... What am I saying that's crazy? Is saying that you shouldn't hate people you've never spoken to crazy? Is saying you should love and not hate crazy? I guess call me crazy. I guess I'm crazy. You got me? I'm crazy. I think you should treat people with respect until they give you a reason not to. I have never met you. I don't know you. I've never spoken to you or about you in my entire life. Yet you're in my live stream telling me that I'm going to suffer and that you hope I suffer, telling me that I'm crazy and I'm a bad person, and I know nothing about you. I don't know anything about you. I don't know your age. I don't know your social status. I don't know your income. We don't know each other in any capacity. yet you are wishing hate upon me? That's strange. That's weird. Is it because I think poor people deserve healthcare? Is it because I think police should stop killing black people? Why do you hate me? What exactly causes you to dislike me to such a degree? I'm just sorting out my inventory here, by the way. Hey Jerry, come on man, leave the poor shit talker alone. She's been insulting people all night. Give her a break. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's all projection. Yes, if you come into my live stream and insult me in a way that's barely literate and that's based on nothing, do I find it problematic to make fun of you as a result and question why you're such an angry person? No, I don't. If you want to perceive that as insulting, when you fired the first insult, if you want to do that, that's fine. If you're content with having a bunch of fake conversations where you don't interact like a real person and just pretend like everyone's got like a scorecard and they're keeping track. Oh yeah, the streamer insulted you 16 times and you only insulted them 3 times. Now, even though you insulted them first, they still insulted you more. That way they get the foul and you get the point. Like, there is no scorekeeper. You're not gaining any points here, right? It's just weird. It's strange. It's odd and peculiar behavior, and that's all I'm saying, buddy. It's peculiar. We need a non-gaming and just straight-up education channel for some people in the chat. Do comment if you are not informed. I mean, that's what this is. I'm just playing a game. Like, just because there's a game on screen doesn't mean that. I mean, I guess for some people, they just get so offended at the idea that there's a video game on screen, so they won't watch. But, I mean, that's basically what this is. I don't think so at all, Razor. No one is born a racist. No one is born hating other people. That's just not true. It's definitely enforced by the media, but there is nothing natural about it. Nothing natural about it. Hello, Lux Ember. It's Fritz's friend. Welcome to the broadcast. Hello, Cattern. What's poppin'? Head wrecker, and she is a hippie. What does that mean? I'm a head wrecker. Again, that doesn't mean anything in American English, and maybe I don't know. I don't. That doesn't translate to me. So if you could tell me what it is that means, what you're trying to convey, that would be great. That would be great. But rather, the cause for racism is natural. I disagree on that as well. There are plenty of societies that aren't racist. And if you want to use the society, like, there's plenty of, you know, gated communities that have 0 racist people and they all get along. There's plenty of schools, maybe mostly private schools, right? And there's like the wealth thing going on there, but where everyone there is not necessarily really racist, you know? Lib stuff, you know? There are places where people are capable of communicating and grouping together without being racist. Even in history. You look at a lot of the people that were enslaved, killed, captured, stolen. A lot of them, maybe, I mean, a lot of cultures and stuff have been lost to time, but there's a lot of cultures that are not inherently racist. And there's a difference also in the degree of racism between certain cultures. Say Germany compared to Vietnam, or Mexico compared to Russia. You know, like different countries have different levels of racist sentiment. I don't think the cause for racism is. It's weird. And I think it all stems from the idea of people's material conditions not being met. And people are very knee-jerk, and people want to blame others. I noticed this in my family. Like, in my family, if someone, you know, leaves a dirty dish on a table, right? And someone else discovers it, the first thing that people want to figure out is who did this? Who cares? Who cares who did this? We gotta find someone to blame. Wasn't me. Had to be someone else. Who did that? And people are just like that. That's what people do. And so when you combine that, and then you have one person, because all it takes is one person, to plant that seed that, oh, it was these fellas. It was them. It was the transes. They're the ones who are to blame for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. How do I identify? I'm a person? What is that question? Politically, I'm an anti-fascist. I'm a leftist. I'm a communist. I'm an anarchist. My gender is female. My sexual orientation is pansexual. I identify not as an American, but a human. I don't know. I think that sums up every possible variation of that question. What gender do I identify as? I don't. See, now here's the thing. No one identifies as a gender. They are a gender. When you use the phraseology of what do you identify as, the implication there is that there is a dissonance. That, you know, one thing is the real thing and one thing is the identity. And that's not the case. Proper phraseology, and I'm not trying to shit all over you, I'm just, you know, I'm just throwing this out there. Just helpful hint, helpful tip, you know? Just a chat tip. Put that in profile. It's already in my profile. Could have read that though. But a better question would be, you know, what are your pronouns? If you want to know someone's gender, that's the fastest way to ask. What are your pronouns? That kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm a little high right now. Bear with me. I haven't had I stopped drinking coffee. I finished my coffee like an hour and a half ago. My high is starting to kick in, so I'm a little bit slower than I was like 30 minutes ago. So please forgive me. I'm trying my best. As far as race goes, I identify as white. I'm a white ass hoe. Lux Ember, it matters how you ask because context matters and intent matters. Like I said, I don't think your intent is poor. But what I do know is that there's always ways to speak to people to get to the point as fast as possible. And that's my goal, is concise language. And I know that there's a lot of people that, and I agree with, have said when people ask them, what do you identify as? They take offense to that. I don't really care. But I thought I'd just give you that helpful hint, just in case you may interact with someone that does. And it's not like you lose anything by being aware of the fact that, you know, that could potentially upset someone. Maybe. You know, you don't lose anything. You just maybe could switch to more concise language. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Show the ears. Man, Mohit, why are you still here, first of all? And why do you keep removing your own messages? And why do you want me to like, what? My ears? I have puppy ears, exactly. That's why I have the headset on. They block the puppy ears. Absolutely correct. I don't care about people's feelings. Well, that sounds like you need therapy then. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I mean, if you want to engage in conversation in a way that's abrasive, ineloquent, unnecessary, and offensive, if that's what you've dedicated yourself to, if that's your like identity, it's like, I'm an edgelord. I tell people what I think. I say what it is. If that's your thing, go for it, bud. That's awesome. But you should at least be aware of the fact that, yeah, people would maybe potentially be rubbed off in the wrong way. And if you want to make easy enemies and you don't care about that, fine. Go for it. That's cool. But personally, the way I operate, I want people to be happy. And I want to understand why people think the way that they think. So, I try to speak with as concise as language as possible to people I'm interested in. Now, of course, I'm going to mock the hell out of people that post stupid shit online. If they've already, like, you know, proven themselves to be stupid. But I'm not going to do that in interpersonal interaction. You know? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what, Joe, I'm high. I don't remember what I said that in the context of. I'm not going to become a tanky. I am Sudan. Your ideology is stupid. It's not funny. And it's predicated on the fact that you can't give up your 4chan edgelord culture. It's dumb. It's stupid. Okay? And I don't like... oh yeah, we're just gonna kill everyone? Okay, great. Awesome. What a stupid fucking strategy. Seriously. What a dumb fucking strategy. I want Trump to win so that more poor people that I ostensibly want to care about or pretend to care about will die? Great strategy, dude. Great fucking... Like, it's dumb. It's edgelord, stupid, fucking kid, like, meme, fucking Ben Shapiro tier philosophical cringe. And I personally just think it's fucking ridiculous. Tankies are one of the dumbest. And I emphasize dumbest because these people should know better. It's the same with these like Jimmy Dore, like fucking I hate everything, man. Like these woke, like I'm anti-woke, anti-SJW, but you know, the class reductionist kind of people. It's the same shit. Wow, you fucking correct on so many things, but then you just can't stop wanting to feel like a fucking edgelord loser. But you're telling me I can't make fun of transgender people on my channel? What? But how will I ever like dude, get a hobby? Like, I don't know, man. It's just. But you're telling me I can't wish for mass death of poor people? But like, it's just LARPy bullshit. It's dumb. Like with Trump people, they've been genuinely brainwashed. Like their entire worldview is a product of the Koch brothers. Right? Like, these people, for the most part, I would love to know how to de-radicalize them, but it's going to take a lot more than to de-radicalize a tanky. A tanky is close to the final step of liberatory thinking. Like, you're almost there, right? So, like, I don't criticize that kind of stuff too much, but Jesus Christ, man. Shit is embarrassing. Now, again, You can say things like, I think we should maybe defend ourselves, and that means that we should be able to use lethal force if necessary. That doesn't make you a tanky, okay? The idea that you want people in power that are going to, like, I don't know, commit a genocide, if you want them to die, that doesn't make you a tanky. That makes you a normal person. So if you're identifying as a tanky and, like, you don't want mass death of poor people, then I don't know. And if you are a tanky and you do want mass death of poor people, what the fuck is the point? How can you be anti-woke? It is arbitrary, that's why it's dumb. It's dumbass bullshit. Yeah, like seriously, like tanky orgs are like the worst orgs. Like I would rather work with DSA than I would with any tanky organization. You're pro-Trump because you like tax cuts. Lux Ember, first of all, and I'm so sorry to go down this road. I guarantee you, you are not making $500,000 a year. And if you are, can you give me money on a super chat? Because if you are not making at least $500,000 a year, what tax cuts? What tax cuts? You're saying a bunch of bullshit you know nothing about. Trump raised taxes on the poor and lowered taxes for the rich. Now, he did a switcheroo of tax codes, and maybe your paycheck will be slightly bigger, but you're paying more in other forms of taxation. That's what's so clever about the brainwashing of Republican thought. So, do you make $500,000? If so, please give me money on Patreon or in a super chat. If not, then you've been successfully brainwashed, and I hope I can de-radicalize you before the election. Because if Trump wins Georgia, or if Biden wins Georgia, that would be hilarious. Psychoanalysis from someone like this? Oh, the irony. See, again, what leads to people saying that? To someone like this? What does that mean? Someone like what? I'm sitting here playing I'm sitting here playing a video game on YouTube and talking to my live chat. What is someone like this? What are the assumptions that you're making when you say that? I'm assuming you've never met me before. I've never met you before. And the first thing you do to a new person you've never interacted with is insult them and be as mean as you possibly can. It's weird. He increased the standard deduction for everyone. Again, just because you're paying less in taxes in a certain way and then paying it back more so in another way doesn't mean you are losing taxes. Now again, if you voted for Trump in 2016, right? And that's your defense of that, whatever, fine. Okay, go for it. But if you're going to say that you're going to vote for Trump in 2020 over Biden, then this is where we get to the point where you just don't care what happens to black people. If they die, they die. If transgender people die, they die. If gay people die, they die. If immigrants die, they die. All I want is to pretend to pay less taxes. That's all I want. If that's your thing, then I really hope I can de-radicalize you, because what you are saying is a dangerous lie. And it is how people like you get convinced to vote for people that want to kill immigrant families, that want to kill transgender people. It's how they convince poor people, because again, you are not making $500,000. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not making any tax bracket that got lower taxes. You're not. I refuse to believe that. You wouldn't be here if you were making that much money. Right? And Biden he will not raise taxes on anyone that makes less than $500,000. So again, if you're making more than $500,000, I hope you enjoyed your tax cuts, right? If you vote for Trump again, that's weird because you already got the tax cuts. So I don't know why you'd be going back. Like, what is he going to do? Another tax cut? Maybe, I don't know. So Biden's not going to change your shit if you're a poor person. And if you're working with Fritz, I'm sorry. I just don't believe that you're making $500,000 or more. I just don't believe it. Do I do my own taxes? Yes, I do. I don't pay more income tax and the standard deduction is higher. I'm black, stop assuming. I'm also queer. Then that's embarrassing, and you should feel bad. You really should. If you are voting for Trump and you're black and you're queer, that's some interesting stuff, because you think you might pay a few dollars less in taxes. That's ridiculous. Honestly, that's ridiculous. Like, again, you said you don't care about people's feelings, right? So I understand that. But if, again, you're saying if I can make a couple hundred extra bucks that you're not making because you are paying more, because inflation, because of things like, you know, the cost of living going up, you are paying more. You might not understand it, you might not realize that, but you are paying more, right? But because you think you might make extra dollars, it's okay that immigrants are getting operated on and losing their uteruses in order to enter the country. It's okay that parents are being separated from their children with no documentation to the point where they will probably never meet again. That's fine. It's okay that transgender people have to pay. You said you're queer, so you're selling out people that are very closely knit to you in identity, right? So you're saying, transgender people having to pay 10 times more for hormones? Well, hey, they save 50 bucks on their payroll tax, so they can put that 50 bucks to their monthly $350 bill. That'll help. You're saying to gay people that might lose their rights to adopt children, you're saying, fuck them. I might make a few extra dollars. It's embarrassing and it's selfish. And again, I'm not trying to put you on blast. I'm not trying to fuck you over. I'm not trying to scream at you. I'm just saying what I think. So, I'm sorry. If I misunderstood something, that's possible, right? But to my understanding, what you said is you're considering voting for Trump because you might save taxes, maybe. All my friends are gay. Check out my good friend Tim Scott. Yes. It's okay when I say that black people shouldn't be in suburbs. My Republican friend Tim Scott is here to explain why that's a good thing. Literally what Trump says. Come on, man. It's no one's responsibility to pay for someone else's healthcare. Agreed. But if that's your line of thinking, is it no one's responsibility to pay for your roads? I don't live where you live. My tax dollars got spent building a road in your neighborhood. I don't live there. What the fuck, buddy? Should I really have to pay for your water? What? You want to drink water and you want to think, oh, I'm just going to turn on the faucet? I don't need to build a well or dig a well or anything? What fucking selfish piece of shit do you think you are? You want me to pay for your water infrastructure? What? Come on, man. You're a fucking fool. I lied multiple times. Alright, here we go. Fake news, everybody. Fake news. Trans people haven't had to pay more in healthcare bills. That's not real. All their bank statements and insurance statements are fake news. ICE agents aren't performing record numbers of hysterectomies on immigrants. That's fake news. Abortion rights aren't being destroyed in 18 states, including Georgia, the state that I live in. That's fake news. It's all fake. Fake news. Everything I disagree with is fake. But what, again, if you want to live in that world, feel free. Like, go for it, bud. There's one, like, it's one thing to just say, yeah, fuck them. I don't care about trans people. I don't care about gay people. I don't care about immigrants. Fuck them. I want my hypothetical tax dollars that I might save in 10 years when I become a multimillionaire. If that's your ideology, fine. But if you're going to say that all of Trump's actions in the administration that have happened aren't true, if that's the lane you're going down, then Lord have mercy on the people you interact with on a day-to-day basis. If they want to voice chat with me, I'm down, but not right now. I'll do that when I'm like sober or something. I saved a teeny tiny bit of income tax money under Trump, but he ended up But he ended a mortgage insurance waive for first-time homebuyers, which actually net increased my expenses by over... Exactly what Katie Sigmund said. Exactly. There's so many of these tax loopholes that increase taxes on most people. Now, if you like live with your parents or something and you're not doing property taxes or any of that stuff, you might have saved a couple bucks on your payroll. You might have, yeah, totally, maybe, right? And honestly, with the cost of living increase, with inflation, with that kind of stuff, I doubt it. Like, if I were to look at like your books, I doubt you would actually have made. Like, I think it, you know, I doubt it. Now it's possible, like it's totally possible, but I doubt that's possible. You know, I need to see some evidence. But still, that's not worth immigrants having to get hysterectomies. That's not worth transgender people's insurance being able to deny them care or coverage for hormone treatment. That's not worth gay people not being able to adopt children. That's not worth women losing abortion rights in dozens of states. It's just not. It's just not. I'm sorry? Only 3 years of President Trump has done more for blacks than the crappy Zambo President Obunga in 8 years. Trump 2020? You seem like someone that should definitely get some therapy. Our prehistoric ancestors still took care of the weak and sick and didn't leave them behind like wild animals, so don't be an edgelord pussy like, I'm not gonna pay for someone's health care. Like, yeah, exactly. Especially during a fucking pandemic. Seriously, now I'm getting pissed off here. We're in a fucking pandemic, right? And if we would have fucking spent a couple $1 billion in preventing this pandemic from killing people and to prevent this contagion, right? If we would have spent a couple $1 billion in forcing people to stay home and then quarantining the people that had the virus, giving them top medical care and making sure that they're good to go, this shit would be fucking over with, because public health is our health. If I drink water and it has fucking toxic chemicals in it because of public policy, right? Damn fucking right I want my tax dollars going into the water that I drink to be pure and clean. If I live in Flint, Michigan, and I gave my children lead poisoning because they were drinking the water that I gave them that I didn't know had high concentrates of lead in it, God fucking damn right I would be pissed. God fucking right I would be pissed. Oh, but I'm not gonna pay for your health care. Ho ho ho. Fucking idiot. Fucking moron. Do you believe in Jesus' crucifixion for our sins, and do you repent? No, I don't. No to both of those. Hello, Wisdom, though. Welcome to the stream. You'll see me at 5 o'clock. I don't know if I'll still be here at 5, but I'll see you around the block whenever. No hate, bud. Just preaching my opinions. I need to set the record straight. Feel free. Open invitation. Everyone who does not agree with white trans female needs therapy. Again, it's not about agreement. Oh, it's just my opinion that black people are violent. It's just my opinion that trans people are pedophiles. It's just my opinion that gay people are pedophiles. It's just my opinion that immigrants are stealing our... Those aren't opinions. Those are factually incorrect statements that have no data that support them. Those are not views that are valid. Those are not views that are something to be respected. Whereas there is no agree to disagree. If you believe any of those things, you are garbage and you're projecting garbage into the world, and you should stop believing that stuff because it is dangerous. What? Tim Pool? Reneged? That's not surprising. But, give me the scoop. At Mr. Freaker. What are my personal beliefs? You respect mine? I am an atheist. I lean more kind of like the Buddhist kind of method of thinking, but I don't really, you know, I don't really care about all the other stuff about that. Haunted. Your same liberal ideas is what has turned the CA into a great burning shithole it is. What? First of all, I'm not a liberal. Second of all, I don't live in California. Third of all, what liberal ideas? Fourth of all, climate change is what's causing wildfires, and climate change is a very neoconservative idea. that says that we should not invest in new energy and we should instead subsidize old, expired forms of energy that are brutal to the planet. So I'm taking it that you're a Trumper. I'm taking it that you get alternative facts from like mainstream media like Fox News or from Facebook like QAnon stuff. So I'm very skeptical of these claims. If you want to have a conversation about it, I welcome it. But a lot of basic claims that you made are just factually inaccurate. I am not a liberal. California, I don't live in California, so nothing I do or say has any, like, there's nothing there. I live on the exact opposite side of the fucking country. And burning is directly due to climate causing very dangerous amounts of wildfire conditions. And also the Trump administration defunding the natural park people, the people that work in parks that would do controlled burns, for example. That has been done a lot less and a lot more sloppily over the course of the last 3 and 4 years of the Trump administration. So that's another setup for that as well. And it's all for the pockets of big corporations and big business so that they can get just one more quarter of their profits. Just one more quarter. Who cares how many people need to die? If I can just make that extra few thousand or million or billion dollars, just one more quarter. That's all they need. And it's been just one more quarter for what, 10 years? Al Gore has been sounding the alarm since 2000, right? Just one more quarter since then. What, 1990s? It's been one more quarter since Ronald Reagan took office. Don't worry, guys. We'll do this. Just one more quarter. Just let us get a few more little bits of profit. 40 years later, the world's on fire. Really makes you think. Fuck. Shitty forest maintenance is why CA is burning. Not a supporter of either. I just see facts from the outside. That's one of the reasons. But that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I'm not a liberal. And that a lot of that stuff doesn't have to do with California's government, but has to do with the federal government. Now, a lot of it does have to do with California's government, and California's government is bad. But one, I'm not a liberal, and Gavin Newsom is not someone I agree with ideologically. We are not on the same ideological spectrum. I would go as far as to say we're not even close on the ideological spectrum. So if you say my ideas, let's remove the word liberal because you just don't know the definition of liberal. That's fine. That's okay. A lot of people don't. So let's remove the word liberal. My ideas, implying that I'm in control of California? First of all, I don't live there. And again, the ideologies that the current governor and the current state legislature all espouse, the senators, Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris, like, I disagree with every single person in Californian politics as far as I know. So you just seem kind of like a dullard. So has no regards to where you live. It's your same beliefs that turn that. Well, again, I'm not a liberal. I don't believe what Gavin Newsom says. I don't believe what Dianne Feinstein says. We are on different ends of the political spectrum. So, next. Very aggressive today. Have I been drinking? I'm high. So, yes, I drank coffee. Sure. But yeah, I'm aggressive. Yes, you got me? I'm exposed. You have won. The invisible scorekeeper has checked you into the 9th inning. You have the positive score. You have been the victor in the battle of ideas. Handsome Hassan is astonished that he required him to fly from California during a oh, holy shit, I missed a lot of that. Turns out he required the debate to be in person at his compound? Trump is so into socialized medicine, he got baby stem cells injected. Exactly. He went on a rant on Twitter today saying, please DM that to me, how all leftists that asked to debate him all rejected it. He didn't mention that he told them in the DMs that it had to be in person. I love those little bit of qualifiers. Am I aware of Hollywood elites sacrificing and trafficking people? I am not aware of that. As well as what's beneath the Getty Museum in California? I am not aware. Feel free to tell me. Buddhism justified the fascist Japanese invasion of China. Dislike the idea of... I mean, yeah, that's like, again, I'm not into that. I'm just more into the whole spirituality, peace and love, be a good person and project good things kind of thing. I'm not like a scholar on that shit or whatever. His studio, that's a very professional studio that he has millions of dollars to spend money on, is not equipped for video debates. Interesting. No borders, no race. Anyone who disagrees is garbage and dangerous. Dude, man, Mohit, what are you talking about, man? You got the Fox News on the brain, bro. This shit's nuts. Are you even listening to the words I'm saying, or are you just writing from your latest script? Do I think child trafficking is going to be stopped as well as human sacrifices? Not as long as people like Donald Trump are in office. They've been sacrificing people for years. 40,000 people a year, including my mother, die every year before the pandemic because they don't have health insurance. 40,000 a year, and that's a minimal estimate. There have been tens and tens of thousands of direct deaths linked to suicide that have been linked to the financial crisis of 2008 in regards to foreclosures, people losing their homes. People have killed themselves, tens and tens of thousands. Those are human sacrifices. Human sacrifices for capital. Human sacrifices for corporations. Just so they can get that one more quarter of profits. Up, too big to fail. What? We can't give a bailout to the people who lost their homes? We'll give a bailout to all the big corporations, the big banks. And then 10 years later, Steve Mnuchin is going to be Secretary of the Treasury. Good fucking shit, America. There have been human sacrifices for a long time in this country. Millions and millions and millions of people are sacrificed to the gods of capitalism, because that's what they are. They're gods. It's a religion. It's not real. They're gods. Just like fucking Poseidon, just like Zeus. They're all fake. They don't exist. But people will still die for them. People will still die for them. The invisible hand of the marketplace, the invisible hand, interesting. Reminds me a lot of the invisible Sky Daddy. Fucking dumb ass bullshit. That's what I have to say about that. Clip that? Clip what? What part? The part I just did, or was that earlier? Yeah, there are reports that QAnon bullshit is actually making it harder to stop child sex trafficking, because a bunch of stupid boomers who think like Oprah Winfrey is in charge of a child sex dungeon, and everyone who's ever been on a Netflix movie is a rapist or something and a sex trafficker, right? Like, no, that's just House of Cards, right? Like, you know, that, like, that's contained. But that's that joke. But yeah, that actually it makes it more difficult to actually track down victims of sex trafficking because of all the misinformation. So if you are doing QAnon Facebook shit, Wisdom, I implore you to stop. I implore you to just... It's okay to be an activist. It's okay. But when you do like the secret sex dungeons under Hollywood thing, like, yes, there are people in Hollywood that are pedophiles. Yes, that is a problem. Yes, wealth is a problem. Yes, Epstein's connections are a problem. Those are all true. But that has nothing to do with Hollywood. That has nothing to do with California's secret sex dungeons. Haunted, losing IQ sitting here listening to this. I'm gonna hit the red X now. Your response won't be heard as I won't be here. In time for you to read this, save your breath. Interesting. I mean, again, I just don't get these people. Like, did they think that was like, ooh, I just epic owned them and I'm gonna leave. Got them. Like, did they think that, like, damn, I got owned? They lost an IQ point from listening to my stream? I'm owned? They didn't tell me why. It's not like I have any idea what they're talking about. For all I know, they could be losing their IQ because they said I don't believe in God. For all I know, they could be losing their IQ because I'm talking about playing a video game. For all I know, they could be losing IQ because I said I was drinking coffee. I have no idea what they're losing IQ over. But that doesn't matter. All they have to do is spew their cringe. Spew the cringe until there's no more cringe left to spew. And then when you run out of cringe, you turn it off. That's enough for today. I reread the comment. Did I I don't think I read that before. Hello, Saint Michael. Dude, I watched your video that you made. Very weird. I didn't watch the whole thing, of course, because like you sat there for an hour, which is like, whoa, right? That's strange. But dude. That's some funny shit. That's some funny shit. So thank you for that. Stephen D. Kelly is a former CIA whistleblower that exposes what's underneath the Getty Museum. If you want to send me some links on my email, I will read them, buddy. I'll check them out. I'm a musician aware of a lot of shit going on in the world. Hey, if you want to send me some links or any like if you're just like a storyteller who's like a bard going through like a fucking like traveling across the fucking country like telling stories at the inn, if that's your thing, I'll listen. But if you have any documentation, I would love to see that as well. Do I think it's weird that both leftists and conservatives admire Christopher Hitchens as well as hero George Orwell? Well, yes. Yes, I do. It's weird, but I can identify why. This also goes with, like, George Carlin is another good example. We're like, oh, George Carlin said swear words, therefore he would also hate black people. Like, whoa, I've seen people say that. It's like, yeah, George Carlin would totally agree with Trump that, like, you know, building the wall is a good thing. Like I've seen that. Christopher Hitchens would like these people, right? Because they're dumb and it's all theater to them, right? It's all theater to them. So for them, it's like Hitchens does his little hitch slap thing, where he just makes a fool of someone, and they love the rhetorical fluff, and they go like, "Where he must be on my side." And then Hitchens also was an Iraq war supporter. And later in his life, like, yeah, he started off as a socialist, but later in his life, he was kind of a bastard. Like, let's be real here. The guy kind of was a fucking bastard near the end of his life. So there is, like, a few positions where, like, they could maybe agree with him. Yeah, maybe we should kill millions of innocent Iraqis that haven't done anything to us, right? Why not? Like, when you see clips of that, it makes it easy to have that kind of cross-pollination there. Where leftists would like his more 80s, 90s, socialist kind of views. You have people that would be addicted to his Iraq war fucking bumping and his rhetorical sway. And then also, who else did you mention? Oh, the comment scrolled off. Who else was it? It was someone else. I'm thinking. Orwell. I mean, Orwell, I don't know much about him. Like, I'll be honest, I went through Christopher Hitchens quite a bit when I was a teenager, so I know a little bit about him more than I would of other people. I don't know Orwell that much, but to my understanding, he was like a socialist anarchist kind of person. And so, it's weird that I think it just goes to, like, the whole projection thing, the whole, like, this is bad, so it must be what my enemies think. Like, the whole everyone I disagree with is a rioter and a looter. Everyone I disagree with is a violent criminal. Everyone I disagree with is a pedophile. Like, that's what these people do. Every trans person that I don't like is a pedophile. Every gay person that I don't like is a pedophile. Like, that's what they think. Because to them, that's just facts and logic. To them, seeing a bad thing, right, and then seeing someone they disagree with, it must be that bad thing. That's why you get people that go into places like Comet Ping Pong with a gun and start shooting. Because these people think that, like, oh, I'm about to fucking liberate a sex dungeon. Because these people I disagree with, they must be pedophiles. Because pedophiles are bad, and these people I disagree with are bad. Therefore, must be the case. I've been watching your viewpoints for a while. This is my first time actually saying what's up. Cool. I don't ever disavow someone else's opinion as the world has molded their mind to believe what they'll do. Yeah, sure, no problem. No problem. Carlin's daughter came out saying her dad would have... Yeah, exactly. Dude, I would have loved to have seen a George Carlin reaction to Donald Trump. Like, damn. Like, Donald Trump getting COVID and, like, the pictures of him, like, with the golf swing. And, like, the White House posting photoshopped images that make Donald Trump look skinnier. I would have loved to see what George Carlin would have had to say about the White House airbrushing Donald Trump's fat away in official press photos. I would pay so much fucking money just for that. Like, oh, God. Just for, like, a 5-minute clip of him answering that question. Damn, that would be brilliant. Fuck. Do you want to debate, Saint Mike? Is that like, are you free? Like, are you home from your job or something? What's going on? You seem very obsessed, and I find that a little bizarre. Dude, man Mohit, shouldn't you be trying to show me what's sacred and saying, instead of saying I'm a demon, I don't know what's sacred. Like you said, I live in trash, so I don't know what's good. Why don't you want to show me what's sacred so that I can try to help you protect it? If I knew what was so sacred, I would help you in defending what is sacred. Please, come on. I'm on your same team here. I like good things and I don't like bad things, so we're on the same side. Wage slave and shit. I feel you, bud. I feel you. So how long do you want to debate, Saint Mike? Like, let's get a let's get a length here. Like, do you want to do an hour? I can do an hour. Like, I'm maybe down to do more than an hour, but like, I don't know. I might not want to do that today. But if you want to do an hour, I can probably do that. 6 p.m. EST? That's not good, actually. I would much rather do it a little later. Can we do like 8? Is 8 possible? And next question, what are we going to debate? Like, if this is just going to be you calling me a tranny soy boy over and over again, I'm like, I'll show up just like for the fun of it, right? But like, that's going to be weak sauce, buddy. Like, I've been on the internet for 10 years. I transitioned openly online. Been there, done that. So like what do you want to debate? Do you want to debate Donald Trump being president? Do you want to debate Black Lives Matter protests? Like, what do you want to debate? Climate change, abortion? You were talking a lot in your video that I saw, because I watched like the last like few minutes, about God and like how like the devil is like consuming people like me. Do you want to talk about that? Like how God is you're on the side of God and killing transgender people because you think they might be pedophiles, maybe because you read an article somewhere written by some stupid douchebag, that you think that all of a sudden that makes you like a noble warrior, like in the Crusades or something, right? If you want to talk about that, let's talk about it. What do we got? A discussion rather than, I mean, it doesn't have to be structured. I'm down to do a discussion, but like, what do you want to discuss? Like, because again, if you're just gonna, like, if you just want to get me on a microphone and call me a tranny to my face, like, okay, like that's what I'm expecting right now. So like, I want to actually have like a rigorous intellectual challenge here. I want to actually like flex my muscles, you know? Yeah, these dudes are like weirdos, man. I'm just saying, I watched the video. Well, you know, it's like an hour or something long, like really weird stuff. But I did watch like the last few minutes on 2X. And you're talking a lot about the Bible. It's just weird, man. But I mean, we can talk about that more later. If you want to talk about the Bible, like let's talk about the Bible. That's what I'm saying. I want substance. If I'm gonna take a time out of my day to talk to a stupid fucking incel loser, I want it to be at least moderately entertaining. But yeah, like my thing is like I've done so many of these like little debate things, and they usually end in people just calling me a tranny with the people of your persuasion. Oh, tranny, 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 tranny. You're such an evil person. Pedophile. Even though like, no. fucking ridiculous nonsense, right? I've done it for 4 hours. I've done it for 30 minutes. I've done it for, like, you can look at all the videos on my channel. I remember one of the first ones I did was I talked to like a Nazi who was like a literal, like, he was one of those like I LARP in the chat as like a 1943 like SS soldier kind of person. It was really bizarre. And I had like a 4.5 hour conversation with the dude. And that was enlightening to say the least. There was a lot of like just utter delusion going on. But then it just kind of like, oh, tranny, you know, it's embarrassing. I don't know. My $8 a day job? What is that job? I don't get paid a wage. You make more than that at 15 minutes? I'm happy for you, bud. Cool. Do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven, says Cotton Balls. Luke 6:37. I agree with that. That sounds good to me. Nazis don't exist. Okay. Well, I mean, if someone says I am a Nazi, I tend to take them at their word. If you want to say that they're lying, that's your opinion. It is impossible for arrogant to recognize sacred. I can't even. Ridiculous. Post my Discord link. My Discord is. I'll copy and paste. There you go. Right, okay. So it's not that they're lying about believing the things that they told me for 5 hours about wanting to like put trans people in concentration camps. That's a lie, right? Because you know this random person you've never spoken to. You know them more than they do, right? So obviously you can dictate what they believe. Of course, why not? Don't believe your lying eyes. Everything you've experienced with your own 2 eyes and your 2 ears is fake. You must believe me, the central authority over your lying eyes. It's a deep fake. The world around you is an imaginatory experience. Believe me, and only me, and all your dreams will come true. Psycho shit, bud. Definitely not something a smart person says. But, I think that's a given. I need to remember that that's actually, I've got premium tabs. I'll just put them in there. Okay, Saint Mike. You can go, if you want to watch this video and tell me what they are or whatever, go watch the video, leave a comment. Let's talk about our little debate, okay? I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about some dude I talked to 2 years ago who is a fucking crazy person. If that's what you want to debate, I'm not interested. So, when we talk tonight, right, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the Bible? Are we talking about, like, BLM, Antifa, rioters, and looters? Are we talking about how much money you make at your job? Are we talking about how much sex you have? Like, what are we talking about here? I don't hate when people bang on my intellect. I would rather them explain why with thought and reason. If someone has a reasonable explanation for something that they seem, you know, to think that I'm ignorant on, I can read that and I can take that perspective into mind and I can change my opinion. I know that's not something that a lot of people are capable of, but I do that every now and then. General talk on current events. Okay. Well, if you want to get a list ready, get a list ready. I don't really care. However, I will request that you let me ask a few questions. I will request, like, you can come up with most of the topics or questions, but I will request that you let me have my time and that you will answer my questions in good faith. That would be preferable. I should be easy work for you? What does that mean? Like, what? Dude, I love Tengu Man. This shit's fucking epic. Yo, I've been streaming for 3 hours. That's a lot. Ugh. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. Am I getting the Twitch sorted? No, I don't care about that at all. I think the YouTube streaming interface is fine, personally. I mean, I don't care. If there's something I'm not familiar with, I'm not familiar with it. You know, that's just the world we live in. So if they want to pull out some random fucking story from like 2019 of something, of like, you know, someone doing something or whatever, like, I don't care. Like, I'll just say I'm not familiar with that. I'm not going to research anything. I'm not putting any effort into this. As far as I'm concerned, this is free content. I don't like YouTube's filtration system either. I think it's bad. I would rather see what people are saying about me. Though one thing I do like about YouTube's filtration system is people don't know that YouTube has a filtration system. So what they will do is they will call me like a bunch of mean names, right? And then because YouTube filters their comment, they think that I deleted their comment. Like, I'm like, at all times, I'm constantly F5ing my YouTube comments and deleting anything I disagree with within seconds. Like, people literally believe that. Like, someone will post a comment, refresh the page, see that it's not there, and think, oh, they must have deleted it. They must have deleted my comment in the 0.1 seconds that it took for me to refresh my page. There's no other option. It's not that YouTube has a spam filter and certain words that I used are in that filter, right? No, 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 no. The user, the tranny, must have censored me. They're scared, right? So every now and then I get people that are on these these random like they leave like 3 comments, and it seems that there's like 12 parts of this story, but like I only get 3, and like they're never consecutive. Like they're always like in the middle of something. Like someone will like start in the middle of a sentence. It's really weird stuff, and I can't help but think that they're just robots. I don't care. Lux Ember. Individual businesses having things happen to them that's positive does not mean that it's Trump doing it. I don't care about your little story. And either way, again, which you haven't even begun to refute, doesn't matter. Because again, your mentality right here is fuck it. I got an extra few $100. I make an extra 16 cents on every paycheck. Fuck the immigrants. They can get forced hysterectomies. I don't care. Fuck transgender people. They can pay thousands of dollars for what they used to pay $10 for. Fuck them. Fuck gay people. They shouldn't be allowed to adopt children. That's what you're saying when you do that. So again, if you want to enjoy your little tax bonus that you may have gotten because of Trump, that may have given you a raise or something because you got lucky in a business, whereas thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of other businesses are failing right now. If you got lucky, I'm happy for you. I'm glad your life is going well, but don't pretend you're not being a selfish piece of shit if you're going to vote for Donald Trump in 2020. Just don't. Like, it's a lot easier if you just don't pretend to be a selfish piece of shit. Now, if you want to say you're ignorant and you don't follow the news and you don't know that there's concentration camps where people are getting their uteruses removed by doctors and then having their children taken from them, if you're not aware of that, I implore you, look that up, please. It is a serious problem. But what I'm telling you is that kind of negligence on your fellow person is psychopathic, and all for the expense of money. You are willing to kill people. You are willing to facilitate in the deaths of people. If you just get a 16 cents on every paycheck, it'll add up someday. Maybe my kid's kid will have a couple $100 grand. Maybe someday. If that's your ideology, I mean, at least you're honest. What was the first thing you did if you became president? I don't fucking know, bud. Probably legalize weed. It's a good start. But 2016, the dullard screamed, not realizing that Hillary Clinton was only 4 percentage points ahead nationally. And guess how many votes she got? More than Donald Trump. So the polls nationally, they were accurate. But 2016, the dullard screams, not realizing that state polling in states like Wisconsin weren't funded because the Democrats thought that it was an easy win. So there were no actual polling outlets that were actually giving accurate polling data in Wisconsin. But 2016, the dullard screams, when they don't realize that other people lived throughout 2016 and polls have gotten better, albeit they're not perfect, but they have gotten better. But 2016, the dullard screams, hoping maybe one day people will take them seriously, just like that bliss period when Donald Trump won the election and they stopped taking in any new information. But 2016, Hillary Clinton, they scream, as no one cares about what they have to say. Am I joining a server, or are we having a one-on-one talk, St. Mike? Am I talking to you and your goons? I'd rather do a one-on-one thing than have a goon squad. But if you insist on having a goon squad, I'll do a goon squad too. I don't mind. Any job I disagree with is not a real job. Facts and logic. You know what I think is a silly job? You want to know what I think is a silly job? Working at Starbucks. I think serving high-priced coffee to a bunch of sleazy liberal goons, I don't think that's a real job. If you work for Starbucks, sorry. Hey, you might be able to pay your bills. You might be able to enjoy your life, live within your means, but fuck it, you don't have a real job. I disagree with what you do for a living, therefore, it's not real. You know what seems like a really dumb job? Stylists. You sit there and you decide what's best for people, what clothing is best for people to wear? Who do you think you are? That's not a real job. I don't like that job. Oh, you pay enough to be able to, you know, feed yourself, to feed your family? You get enough money from that work that you're doing, from the labor that you're putting into that thing to, you know, subsist? Well, I don't care. It's not a real job. I don't like it. I don't like it. So it's not real. Alright, St. Mike. The goons don't want to be there. They think you will chicken out for sure. Alright. I mean, like I said, I'm willing to go up against a goon squad. I used to, for fun, I used to go on these Discord servers that were like 30, 40 people that were just neo-Nazis and just scream tranny at me. That used to be pretty entertaining for a couple of weeks. And then it's like, wait a second, these people are just weird. Like, these people are really obsessive and they actually really want to kill me, so like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'll wait till they ask me to debate, and that's been my policy ever since. Well, I'm, like, let me be honest with you, St. Mike. I'm gonna leave that server as soon as this is over. Like, just so we're on the same page here. I'm not gonna stay in the server. I'm not gonna like join a new community and meet new friends and introduce myself. Like, that's not happening. So I don't care if there's an Antifa person in there. If there's an Antifa person in there and you're still as dumb as the things you say imply that you are, they're not doing a great job. So I don't know if we'd get along. Defund Antifa. Well, lucky for you, Antifa has no funding. It's already been maximized as far as the defunding goes. We are at 100% defunding of Antifa. Another successful victory in the battlefield of ideas in the culture war. If you claim to be a very reasonable person and you made an hour-long video of you talking to your friends about you saying funny things in my chat room, hey guys, this is the part where I said something funny in the chat, and then they don't laugh because it's not funny, right? Like, if that's the fucking reasonable person that you claim to be, okay, all right. I can't wait to debate with you, bud. I'm excited. Antifa is funded by George Soros. Said no intelligent person ever. Dude, this is such beta low-tier shit. One of my problems with the Trumpers is, like, you can't, like, it's like fishing, right? Right? I don't know anything about fishing, by the way. But when you get them on the hook, right, they squirm and they scream, and it's usually the same thing. They all, like, they go through Antifa, George Soros, BLM, Marxist, Karl Marx was a dictator, Venezuela, Denmark is not really socialist, but why can't we do their policies? Because they're socialist and they'll bankrupt America. BLM, rioters and looters, they're destroying everything. Like, they go through, alright, next. So, Antifa, that wildfires are caused by George, okay, next. Now, let's actually get to the root of the problem. What's up, K-Dean? What brings you here? How you doing today, buddy? You seem like you're having a rough time. What's going on? Lux Ember, thank you for admitting that you're a psychopathic piece of garbage. I hope you never have children. Yes, I care about my money more than other people. Fucking piece of shit. I hope that your family doesn't have any stake in you. I hope that they don't rely on you for anything. That is such a piece of shit scumbag thing to say. Jesus Christ, I am impressed. I care about my money more than millions of people's lives. Drone strikes? That's fine, as long as I get my money. Illegal wars that kill millions of civilians? Hey, as long as I get paid. Making sure that millions and millions and millions of women won't be able to get an abortion if they get raped, or if they get abused, or if anything happens to them, you know, like, you know. As long as I get my money. As long as I get my money. I care more about my money than my community. Hey, someone across the hall from me in my apartment complex, they've got corona. Hopefully I don't get it, because then I'll stop making money. I don't care about them, though. I'm not gonna, like, wish them well. Ah, fuck it. As long as I get my money? What? My mom has corona? Oops. Good thing I got my money, though. As long as I'm getting paid. What a fucking scumbag. You're a piece of shit. If you have kids, I hope they learn from other sources that aren't you. This goes back into the thing about, like, bad parents being the cause of a lot of problems, like racism, transphobia, homophobia, and so forth, is you have a lot of really bad parents that maybe won't be explicitly racist to their kids or explicitly genocidal to their kids, but they'll instill these, like, kind of, like, weird behaviors onto their kids. So, like, this person's gonna raise a couple of psychopaths. Hey, if you're working and you're working with a buddy, say you have, like, you know, worker co-op, it's just you and your friend, and your friend gets into trouble, and you've got the money you've got the password to the business account, and you can help them, right? Nope, can't do it. Fuck them. You don't need them. You keep that money. betray everybody, ruin everyone else's lives. As long as you get that money. Hey, my paycheck has an extra 15 cents on it. That's okay. Yeah, I know. Millions and millions of people are being abused under the system, but hey, I made a few bucks off of it. I made like 200 bucks. My stock portfolio went up, so I don't really care about, you know, about that 16-year-old who was raped and can't get an abortion in the state of Georgia. Fuck them. Fuck them. They made an extra $13 on their tax cuts. Fuck them. They can pay for something. They can buy a couple of coat hangers with that. Fuck them. Trump 2020. Good shit, Lux. Good shit. It's just freak show behavior. Freak show behavior. But it's like the result of a society, a capitalist society, that teaches children, instills into them, that everyone's always got to be in competition. You can never help anyone. You can never care about anyone. You just have to get more money. You have to be successful. What are you going to do for college? What are you going to do when you grow up? Are you thinking about college? You're told when you're fucking 8 years old. What the fuck? College? Dude, bitch, I'm playing with fucking Legos. Leave me alone. I don't fucking give a shit about college. Yet, they're still going to instill that into you. How do you get ahead? You got to think about your future. You got to think about your career. Because that's all that matters to these people. They're just upholding the capitalist hierarchy. Nope. No one else is allowed to have fun. Your neighbor? Fuck your neighbor. What if your neighbor, you know, breaks their leg, can't mow their lawn, and as a result, you know, they get a lot of weeds, and those weeds go into your lawn? Well, would you, I don't know, maybe help them out? Mow their lawn and say, hey, when your leg recovers, you'll get me back, right? Let's make a deal. I got you. I'll mow your lawn. When your leg recovers, you get me back. Nah, fuck them. I don't care if I'm having to deal with the consequences. I don't care if I'm having to pay more money as a result of my neighbor. I would rather pay more money as long as I get more money in my tax breaks. Fuck them. Fuck my neighbor. Fucking Jesus. The Trump fucking mindset, man, I swear to God, is it fucking crazy shit? Fucking nihilist. Yeah, I'm a nihilist, bro. I'm a nihilist. I'm not an antisocial reject, right? That just dislikes other people and a racist. No, I'm a nihilist, man. I'm cool as hell, bro. I got a cool name for me. I'm a nihilist, man. Fuck yeah, bro. Fucking, I'm a nihilist? Fucking, I'm a nihilist. I think the world's gonna fucking end in a couple months, probably. I'm a fucking nihilist. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be a racist fucking piece of shit. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be a transphobic loser and harass people to get fucking 20 viewer live streams. Cause I'm a nihilist, bro. I'm a nihilist, man. Nihilist, bro. Getting people health insurance is slavery, bro. Paying taxes when they allegedly bring home $8 a day from a YouTube job. Allegedly $8. What is this like thing about my money? Do you think that all of my money comes from YouTube? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that I can get like $8 a day playing video games. That's pretty cool. Play video games for a couple hours, talk about politics for an hour. I'm $8 a day, and I get to sit home and play video games, and I get to work out, I get to read all day, and I don't have to worry about going out and working in a fucking global pandemic. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. I'm extremely lucky. I am way more lucky than a lot of people that I know, and I cherish that. It is an extraordinary privilege to be able to make enough money on YouTube to live healthily and comfortably. And not just from YouTube, obviously I have other forms of revenue. I've got Patreon, right? That I would count that as directly part of YouTube. It is for my YouTube channel. But fuck it. Let's not look at Patreon numbers. Who cares? Yeah, sure, I've got an eBay store that I talk about frequently, but hey, you didn't know that? Fuck it, right? I don't make any money on there. I've got investments that I can maybe do day trading with that I make money on. Fuck it. Nope, doesn't exist. I'm just gonna go on Social Blade and make up memes and talk about my real job because I got big dick, buddy. I go work and I love my job. Gonna work. Gonna work and I'm gonna get paid. Then I'm gonna go home and troll people to get 20 views on YouTube. Because I contribute to the community. I've done my hard day at work. Time to relax and crack open a Bud Light and go troll a transgender person on YouTube with 20 views. All in a day's work. Time to get on to my second job. Time to crack open a burr, go troll the tranny on YouTube. Finally, I'm home from work. A nice hard day. Contributing to my community. Now I finally get to do what I'm passionate about. Trolling transgender YouTube streamers. Like, dude, it's embarrassing. Show my investment portfolio on screen? No. I don't need to prove it. The proof is I am alive, I am healthy, right? And I don't have a day job. That is the proof. I'm not gonna fucking show you. Like I said yesterday, or was it yesterday? I don't know. I think like I said yesterday, if you want to pay me, then maybe I'll show you the things that you're asking for. But why would I do anything for you for free? I already gave to you an hour of my time just because I think it'd make a funny YouTube video I can post. Right? Is an hour of my time not enough? Come on, bud. I'm lying about it, yeah. You got me. I'm lying. What will I gain from lying about it? I don't know. I guess I would theoretically gain something. It's not like I've got all of these things as public information. Nope. No. It's not like you can just look up this stuff very easily with a basic amount of research. No, no way. No. Every time someone asks to see my entire financial situation, I have to stop what I'm doing, right? Because obviously they're not going to go look at the already published information that's out. No, of course not. I got to stop what I'm doing and immediately spend hours of my day showing them all of my financial statements. What I spend money on, what I sell on eBay, every single transaction I've ever made on PayPal, just so that this guy in the random chat room will know that I'm telling the truth about my income. Dude, I make like fucking $700 a month. Like, I'm not fucking living in luxury. I'm not fucking rolling in money. I'm not raking in dough. I'm relatively poor, but I make enough money to live relatively comfortably. Like, I'm not bragging about my money. I'm not. You, on the other hand, are. And to me, I find that to be a little bit of like small dick energy there. It's weird. It's strange. What will the Trumpies do? You win, their beloved leader flees the country to avoid the gulag. I think it's more likely he would resign and have Pence pardon him than that situation occurring. I'm so lost, by the way. I have no idea where I'm at. This map is so fucking circular. I need to get a third link. Where's my father? My father lives in the state of New Jersey, which, coincidentally, is the state I was born in. I live with my parents. Nope. My dad lives in New Jersey and my mom is dead. So, oops. Already wrong. But, oh wait, I forgot. I'm lying? Right. So it doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what you say, because you'll believe whatever you want. You're already primed. You already got that propaganda deep in you. You'll believe whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I say, because I'm a liar. So, why even bother having the conversation? Now, if you want to know more about my personal life and my living situation, okay, we can have that conversation. But if you're going to call me a liar whenever I say anything, what's the point? You got me. Hashtag trolled. Epic troll. I was raised by a single mother. Absolutely. Got a problem with that? I would be hella comfortable in an anarchist commune. That sounds awesome. My goal is to eventually live in one. No, my father and I get along. We talk relatively frequently. He's very impressed with everything going on in my life. But again, I'm lying, so doesn't matter if I have a decent... I mean, it's not a great relationship, you know? Not like, you know, it's the best relationship in the world, but it's pretty decent. It's a lot better than it was a couple years ago, that's for sure. We've been working on it. It's good stuff. But I'm lying, so it doesn't matter. 'Cause I'm lying, so... Oops. Uh-oh. Be in the server at 7:30? I don't know if I'll be in the server at 7:30. It maybe 7:58, maybe? But at 7:30, I'm not so sure about that. How long do you think you'll last when the Patriots take back our country? Well, last time I checked, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Donald Trump president? Isn't he running for re-election? So, what is that? Who are you taking it back from? You're taking it back from Donald Trump? What? Or are you just spewing shit you fucking heard Tucker Carlson say on Fox News and you think you're cool? Because it seems more like the latter than the former. You wouldn't dare go against King Daddy, would you? You wouldn't dare. No. Donald Trump, he's scary. He's Big Daddy. I love him. That's why I defend his honor in YouTube chat rooms with 20 people. What else would I rather... Like, what else could I possibly be doing to show my love of Donald Trump? Oh, I know. Going to YouTube streams with 20 people and trolling the tranny. Hashtag trolled. Totally not pathetic whatsoever. Trump 2020. I hope everyone dies as long as I get myself a 16-second pay raise that I'm later going to pay and higher other taxes such as sales taxes and inflation on basic goods such as face masks, toilet paper, and bread that I'm going to repay on basic goods such as milk, eggs, and cheese that are going to have higher prices as a result of a failing economy. But as long as my paycheck has an extra 13 nickels on it, I'm good to go, buddy. Trump 2020. Dude, these people are fucking so crazy. I really like. I'm baking in this right now, man. Shit's fucking. Oh, it's so funny. I think I'm gonna cut the stream pretty soon here, though. I've met my quota for today. You know, feeling pretty good. Good stream. Discussed. I got also a lot of new subjects to analyze. When it comes to like what the fuck is wrong with Trump people. So thank you to all the Trump people. My research is my research really appreciates that. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do. Did I hit this point? I'm gonna hit this waypoint and I'm gonna peace out. So thank you for watching. Lux Ember, we'll talk, and hopefully I can teach you about a few basic things, because if you do ever end up having children, right, teaching them to hate everyone else is not a good thing. So, the government's forcing me. When the government makes me pay taxes to build roads that I don't drive on, I hate when that happens. I don't live on North Street. I live on South Street. So when the government makes me pay for North Street and South Street, yeah, I know that it redirects traffic and makes people use both roads less, which makes them more actual durable to need repairs less often. But I don't drive on North Street. I drive on South Street. And when the government tells me that I need to pay for upkeep on both of those roads, I just want to say, fuck them. Fuck them. I don't want to spend any money on a water tower. I don't know where my water comes from, and I don't care. You want me to spend my tax dollars on a water tower? What, motherfucker? I ain't spending my tax dollars on shit. I just want to do what I want. If I decide to pay money for a water tower, I want it to be because I made that decision. I don't want it to be because the government made that decision for me. Whoa, there's a new toxic chemical I've never heard of? Well, in my fantasy world, then I'll just drink the chemical out of the water supply. I don't want to pay a government to employ a team of scientists to maybe track these chemicals and maybe put regulations on companies that are putting these chemicals in the water. Nah, fuck them. I don't want to pay those taxes. The government's forcing me. Fuck them. What a bunch of fucking malarkey. What a bunch of stupid fucking garbage, man. Jesus. Why, like, ugh, you people are fucking dumb. Anyway, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one. I will see you again soon. Ta-ta.